I literally watched the halftime show, and then that was it.
I literally only watched the halftime show and the fiasco that was the post game just to see what that would be like. And it was exactly what was delivered. Is the cameraman was just on Travis Kelce as he was just saying hi to random people until he finally found Taylor in the crowd. That's all I was in this for. Am I really loud to you guys? I feel like I'm loud.
No.
Not loud enough, if you ask me.
Wow, thank you.
Wow.
All right. Does everyone have their notes? Everyone know their roles? Everyone?
Yeah, totally.
You got to talk into your mic. I cannot hear a word you just said.
Oh, I said, hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear myself. Hello? Oh, okay, period.
Justin, you don't
can't
have
hear what
any
you're saying,
notes
Chris.
under hot takes.
Yes, that is correct, because I did not have the hot take until we're not going to talk about how long it took for me to come up with a hot take.
Was it 3 minutes ago?
No, it's definitely a double-digit number of minutes ago.
All right. Are we ready to go, guys?
See.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Like, I'm going to record. Like, I know I've been recording this whole time, but, like, we're really going to record.
This is the Always More podcast.
Hello. It is February 14th, and welcome to Season 4 of the Always More podcast, where we believe there's always more room at the table for honest questions, meaningful conversations, and deeper understanding. Today on the pod, we are talking about our Season 4 previews, chain-smoking marathons, gold in them there mountains, hallucinogenic spices, love, the crocodile hunter, and so much more. But first, I am your host, Tim Lichty. And guys, we got ourselves a show for you. We have not one, not two, not three, but 6 guests here today, 6 co-hosts. Sitting to my right is my best friend in the whole entire world, Christopher Thomas Ford.
Hey, guys. What's up?
Sitting to my left is our second Gen Z representative. No, third, I guess. I guess all you guys are Gen Z, technically speaking here. We got Tiara here.
Hi, guys.
Sitting over here to her left is the man who loves the Chiefs beyond all recognition, and that is Jordan.
Good one. I love that one.
Beyond
No
all
insult.
recognition?
Yeah, no insult. No insult.
insult.
Yeah, this is great.
Joining us from the land that has no hills, that is Harley Bianco.
Whoa.
There's a mountain.
And joining us from the
Barely.
very cold land of Wisconsin, that is our friend Justin.
It was like 40 degrees today. It's not that cold.
God.
Pretty warm.
That's how we're starting this pod?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
You're back in
I am wearing a
Wisconsin.
coat today. We're good.
Guys, this is something new. This is
It's packed.
we left season 3 with all of us together, and we have returned.
We actually never left each other's sides. We've been together since that day.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like a witch's curse that prevents us from leaving.
Just all together.
Every time one of us tries to
all
leave,
in
we open the
this
door, and it's just
together.
back into the same room.
Yeah. It's like something in a movie or something.
That could be a good movie.
horrific.
Right?
Yeah.
I have these good ideas, and then I never do anything with them.
You need to do something with that.
I should.
Write
That-
it down.
That's an episode of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, yeah. Domain expansion. The never-ending room.
Ooh.
That's exactly what it is. It's in like a hotel or something.
Yes.
You know what? No, actually, that is... it's from Chainsaw Man. Now I'm remembering where that's from.
Wait, was that Chainsaw Man?
It was an episode of
you're-
Chainsaw Man.
you're
They were
right.
in a
You're
hotel,
right.
and every time they left, they brought them right back to the same place.
Right. And they stayed overnight in the hotel. Yep. No, I remember.
Yep.
I remember.
No
Getting my
point in me
shows
writing
mixed
it
up.
down now.
What are we talking about?
Anime, Tim. Anime.
Oh, man. We got a little bit of everything on the show. Guys, this is Season 4. Let's just dive in. We're going to talk about what we got going on for Season 4. So, long story short, there's a whole bunch of things that we don't know what we're going to do, but there's some things that we do know that we're going to do. That's how we like to do this pod.
Much like my life, really.
That's exactly how
I
this
don't
is
know
supposed to
what
go.
I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
We are all here for you. So, so last season we basically had 4 different episode types, or maybe 3, something around there, where we did nerd, where we did always more her, and then we did like regular episodes, and then like guest episodes and history episodes. We're kind of changing all that. So we're kind of going back to our 2 a month or every other week format.
Back to our roots.
Back to our roots. And basically what we're going to do is about once a month or once every other 2 weeks, every other 4 weeks, we are going to have all of us together, or at least attempt to have all of us together. And then the other one is where we kind of go random and really have like a random conversation or have guests on or talk about a certain topic that we delight in, or who knows, we'll bring some more history stories back in. But yeah, that's kind of what we're thinking about doing. Thoughts? Comments? Moans or groans?
Slay.
Slay.
After thinking about it, I remember this being like an idea that I pitched, but now it just seems like it's really complicated. Let's not do any of that. Let's change everything.
It's too late. I said it.
It's in
I'm
the
not editing
universe.
it out.
Put it in the universe.
Delete.
But yeah, it's going to be, but it's going to be fun because we're going to still include segments from Nerd and from her. We're going to make sure we kind of still highlight those different things, but also just try to do more. And so, I mean, right? Because it's always more.
Always
We're
more.
always doing more. See?
What I did there.
I like it. I like it.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. All right. But yeah, so more guests, more nerd, more women, and just all around more stuff. But guys, look, it's been a hot minute. Are you guys ready to do one of our best, most favorite segments in the whole entire world?
I'm always ready.
Yes.
It's time for Rec and Rev. This is the part of the show where we like to recommend something that we liked, saw, ate, embellished, partook.
Partook?
Partook.
Partook.
I feel like a what was Lord of the Rings?
Gandalf.
Yeah.
Full of a took.
It's full of a took. So for this segment, we're all going to participate and share something that we all liked or something that we want to share with the world. T, you go first.
Okay, so my Rec and Rev for this episode is the book Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. It is a romance novel, and its theme is basically a second chance on romance. So this whole book is about like grief and loss and mental health, and it's the main character is the wife, and you kind of just follow her story as she goes through a lot of, crappy things that happen in most like realistic relationships, and then they slowly she divorces her husband and then goes through all this crap because they went through crap and then they divorced and then they went through more crap, and then she was basically learning that she had to take care of her mental health throughout it all, and then they kind of like rekindled in the end. They didn't get married again, but they just kind of like rekindled in the end, and at the end she felt better, and it was really, I cried I think like once or twice.
Wow.
It's a nice book, and I'm not an emotional person, but I don't know, that one just hit different. So something to read.
Something to read.
Oh, it's a little spicy too, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Just a little bit.
Should have led with that.
Just a little spicy.
Now we're in. Very cool.
So yeah, that's mine.
All right. Look at T here, the first one here with a book. Like
I know,
Making me
guys.
feel bad.
Reading.
I don't read.
Like
I've
I'm an
been doing
actual
good.
writer over here, and I think I've suggested a book maybe twice
Yeah.
in the 4 seasons.
I don't know. I do not read, but this is the first book that I could not like put down. I don't know what it was.
Was it The Spice?
It was the spice.
Spice.
It was everything, and the spice included.
And the spice.
But it was all things. Yeah, it was just good.
Nice.
Very good.
It's
Yeah.
like a book gumbo, if I may.
And she's a chef, so there is gumbo.
Wow.
Wow.
See, I know what I'm
There's a
talking
whole
about.
restaurant and
I know
everything.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Spice and
Secretly,
spice.
I actually read this book.
You know? That's
All right.
what you're talking about.
Moving along, Chris, you're next.
Yeah, so mine is a show I found on Paramount Plus called 1923.
Did you watch this before the other one,
Which one?
Yellowstone?
Yeah. Yeah, so
funny.
it's the prequel to Yellowstone. I haven't watched Yellowstone yet.
I knew it
You
too.
watched the prequel?
You would watch something completely out of order.
What's dumb is there's a prequel to this too that I haven't watched.
Oh, man.
I'm starting in the middle.
Wait. There's a prequel to
Yeah,
the
there's a
prequel.
prequel to the prequel. It's like I'm watching Star Wars right now.
Oh, my gosh.
So I'm starting in the middle. I think I'm going to watch 1883 next and then watch Yellowstone. But it stars Harrison Ford, which is what got me. Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren. Jerome Flynn is in it, the guy that played Bronn of the Blackwater from Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
Brandon Sklenar from Westworld.
Oh, yeah, I like him.
Yeah. So some pretty solid actors. It's a really good show. It's obviously it's about the year 1923. It follows 3 different storylines, one of which is Harrison Ford, who is the patriarch of this family, his ranch in Yellowstone, Montana. his son Spencer, who went to World War I and is now just like a hunter in Africa, and he finds this woman, they fall in love, and then it follows a native girl who escapes from a residential school. And the three storylines are like loosely intertwined. There's a new season coming out eventually, and I'm guessing that's where they're all going to link up. But it's a really intriguing show, and it follows kind of like the Star Wars build, basically, where the different storylines are like distantly interconnected, and you can see how, but they haven't met up yet. It's really cool. It's kind of hard to watch at some parts because it's brutal, it's violent, and you know this stuff really happened, especially the residential school stuff and the Native American treatment in that time period. It's kind of rough for me to watch. But I really enjoy the show. Great acting, great writing, very realistic from what I know of history. Just a good show all around. I suggest it.
Nice, very cool.
Interesting.
Moving along, Justin, it's you, man.
Yeah, so my recommendation is Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Oh, I want to see this so bad.
Yes.
Yes.
I have not heard about
So-
this.
What?
She's
No,
lying.
I'm so freaking
Okay,
the
so
trailer.
first of all, there's a movie called Mr. and Mrs. Smith starring Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie where they're both spies. They married each other, but neither of them knows they're spies.
That's like the OG.
Yeah.
And so this is
No,
like
I
another.
think
There's
the
actually an
OG
older
Yeah, there's an
version.
older one.
There's,
Yeah.
yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
the
say,
TV show from '96.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is like a
Wow.
thing, like a thing.
It's a
Yeah,
remake
it's a
of a
thing.
remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So this one is starring Donald Glover and
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, it's childish.
What?
Gambino, homegirl, drop it like the NASDAQ.
I love.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
what's her name? Maya Erskine, who was gosh, what was she in? She was in Obi-Wan.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
Doesn't matter, bro. He's never beating those allegations. Donald Glover,
I thought about it when I saw
the
Like, when
Asian
I
girl
popped up-
allegations. He's never
the first
never
episode.
beaten
I'm
them.
like, yep. Okay, cool.
What
but yeah, anyways,
I'm
allegations?
lost.
what?
No,
There's
I don't know.
allegations about Donald Glover and Asian women. But getting back on track,
Okay.
I've only watched the
It's for
first
another
episode.
Okay.
Yeah, I've only watched
Yeah.
the first episode. It's great.
It's
Tears
great.
lost. Hiro Murai, who did a lot of episodes in Atlanta, he directed the first episode. There's definitely like an Atlanta feel for like some of the weird comedic interactions that happen.
All right.
So yeah, I watched the first episode. It was great. I'm hoping the rest of the series is that good. But I'm watching it with my girlfriend, so I'll be done in a month or two.
Wait,
Fair.
Yeah,
is that because it's taking forever to release, or just because it takes forever for you to watch those episodes?
No, it's all out.
All 8 episodes are out already.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's the whole thing.
My
is
God.
streaming.
But yeah,
That's funny.
that's what I got.
Very nice.
Very
I'm
cool.
so excited to watch that. As soon as I saw Donald involved, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Moving along, Harley.
I went and saw The Boys in the Boat on Christmas Day
Ooh.
with Hunter's family. It's just white historical film. It is what it is. It's about
So
some-
inaccurate AF.
That's
I'm
crazy.
sure it was.
That's crazy.
It's pretty much about like this group of guys, 1920s, I think. Please, Tim, correct me if I'm wrong.
That sounds about right.
I know you will. But
Hey.
Well, actually,
Look it up.
I think it's in the 1920s because it's during, or it's the 30s. 30s because it's during like the Great Depression. And so basically nobody has any money. It's these boys who are going to this university and they are joining the boating team. That's not the correct terminology, but because it like pays. It's paying them
A
like as a
rowing
job. Rowing. Thank
There
you.
we go.
who's the yeoman?
The what?
The yeoman.
Is that a position on the boat?
Yes.
Is
I
that
have
the
no idea.
captain?
No, they're the ones that are actually rowing.
Oh, I thought they all row.
No.
Most of them row. There's one guy who kind of like tells them where to row
The
and
instructor.
how, what
No,
move.
there's
So
No.
that's the
No.
captain.
He's like the captain, pretty much.
I follow actually one of those on TikTok.
Oh, that's pretty
They're a
cool.
non-binary whatever you call it, on a men's rowing team.
They're called humans.
That's
No, the name of the position. I'm trying to remember. Anyway, go
called
on.
a human. Basically, it's about how this like poor school is going to go to the Olympics in Germany. And it definitely was right before World War II because Hitler was the guy in charge.
36.
Thank you. So yeah, that's really
Coxswain.
it. And then
That's the name of
they
it.
win the Olympics.
It's a coxswain, the person that
You
tells them
interrupted
where
the
to
woman
go.
talking.
I'm sorry. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay.
Riley.
You had to get it out there. I respect it. But yeah, I thought it was like, it was good for what it was. It's pretty cool. It's just like one of those things where it's like uplifting, motivational, historical drama.
Cool.
So,
That's pretty nice.
but not like fictional. It's based off a real story.
Based
but yeah.
off of.
Yeah.
Cool.
How loosely, I'm not sure. But
I mean,
as well as a film,
I have like this whole category on my server of like historical films and then historical fiction, and there is a very thin line between the two that I have on there. You'd be surprised. A lot of the history films that you've seen on like TV or whatever are pretty like, nah, it didn't really happen that way.
For instance, Forrest Gump.
Good one, buddy. Good one.
Historical
good.
fiction for sure.
Moving along. Speaking of fiction, Jordan, what you got?
I have another Netflix show. It's called Beef, and it is all based
Yes.
on road rage. It starts
Hunter
from
watched
road
that.
rage. You know, you ever been in the parking lot like of a grocery store and you're backing out and you don't see the person that's coming forward and there's just honking. It literally starts from that. But you think like I'm thinking like initially watching it like, oh, this is just gonna be a back and forth like road rage. Have you guys seen that movie? That was like based on like a whole thing where the guy chased the girl the entire.
The one with Russell Crowe.
Yeah,
I
I
know
thought
what
it was
you're
gonna
talking
be that, but it was like way more intense. So it's literally like 8 episodes of like not just road rage, but them just going back and forth.
So 8 episodes of public freakouts.
Literal beef.
beef.
Like they got beef. And it
Beef.
just gets deeper and
It gets
deeper.
deeper and deeper, and they're trying to top each other. But they're struggling with their own lives, and it's really good. Like I think it had like a really good rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Are you sure you're mad about the parking space? This seems more like it's a different thing.
Yeah, legit. Because
You got something else going on you want to talk about?
It goes so deep. Like
They're just
what-
crazy.
yeah, they're both of them.
Wow.
It's really
Jeez.
good.
It's good.
Look, if I need
I
some
mean,
beef,
didn't
just
they
go to
win
Reddit.
like hella awards
Oh,
at
yes.
the Oscars or
Yeah.
something?
I think they won 14.
Jeez.
Yeah.
98% positive from Rotten Tomatoes.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
It's really good.
Wow.
I might have to check it out.
Now I gotta check it out. Yeah.
Also, Justin, I just noticed your sweater, dude. I'm loving it.
Justin?
Thank you.
Oh, you're.
Yeah.
I forget that you have the screen over here too. Because you threw me off. You're looking over here, like, sir, that is Jordan.
I know who I'm talking to.
Got the black people confused.
I'm not the one that confuses black people,
No, you're
Tim.
not. No, you're not. He's not. On
Hey,
Black
Jordan.
History Month.
Jordan, I want you to know that despite changing jobs multiple times, they still get called Jordan all the time.
Wow.
With different people from a different place.
Yeah, like every job, there's always a Jordan, and I always get called Jordan.
It's just because people see like black guy, Michael Jordan.
Yes,
You
literally.
must be Jordan.
Oh.
And you're in that area too. Like, you know, I bet there's, yeah, a whole city full of Jordans in Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
All
Did you say
right.
Illinois?
Jordan Sear?
With an S.
Illinois.
With an S.
Illinois is.
It's the Illinois.
I hate you all.
He's in Wisconsin.
Moving along. To
Wisconsin.
add to this whole historical Wreck and Revs that we got going on today, Society of the Snow. Bunch of white guys. It was about the Uruguayan.
Tim, we have to do better. Anyways,
She's not wrong.
White people.
She's not wrong, guys.
we are the problem.
Watching 1923 has proven that to me.
In October 13th, 1972, the Uruguayan Air Force Flight 571 chartered to take a rugby team to Chile,
Chile.
crashes into a glacier in the heart of the Andes, and they basically have to survive. And spoiler alert, not all of them do.
Jeez.
I mean, after a plane crash, I wouldn't expect all of them to.
Yeah. It's very interesting. It's a really well-made movie. Out of like all the Survivor movies that I've seen online and elsewhere, it's really, really fascinating. It's on Netflix too, and it's really well acted. It's just like one of those Survivor films where you could expect it to go a certain way, and it doesn't. It just does it really well, and so I really enjoyed it.
There's another podcast that was talking about this show. YSK, You Should Know. The two guys, like one of them's a black guy that doesn't know anything about the world, and the other one's a white guy that just always is trying to correct him. And he was
Are you
like,
trying to say something about our friendship?
well, yes, but no. He was the guy. I think it's Cameron or the other one. I don't remember. One of them's named Cameron. But he was like, "Hey, man, do you think?" And he was like, immediately, no. Whatever you're about to say, no. It's like, no. Do you think, like, in that situation, I would survive? Not at all. You're the first one gone.
Oh, man. All right. Well, hey, we're moving along, and in the next few segments, in order to shorten some time up, we are taking turns. So, like, not all of us will participate in every segment, and that's good because this would take way too long, as we are just now experiencing. So, coming up next, it used to be Harley's, but now it's everyone's hot takes. But Harley, you're still a part of our lives.
Yay!
I would argue one of the most important parts.
Yes. I would like to remind the audience, and as no surprise to them, Janelle made a comment the other day reinforcing the statement that she would not be listening to this podcast were it not for you.
You're the reason my wife listens to this podcast.
Dang.
That's pretty slay.
In fact, I had a coworker. She recently started listening to the podcast. And so she started literally episode 1. And I was like, hey, why don't you listen to season 3? And she goes, okay. So she starts listening to the episode. She goes, oh, this is so much better. Yeah, there's a girl in here now. It's like, yeah.
That's crazy.
It's that feminine energy we needed.
We needed it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Now
right.
we have double.
That's true. It's double now.
Period.
Oh, I forgot you're talking about me. I was like, what do you mean?
To be fair, we did also double the masculine energy, so
Oof.
Very true.
maybe one of us should quit.
But at least,
No.
at least there's only one white guy.
Nose goes.
That's true. There's only one white
True.
guy.
There's a win.
Hey,
There's
there you go.
not a win.
When the white people are the minority, that's when you know it's a win.
Justin, you're up.
Actually, Chris is up. I need Chris to go first. It makes sense.
Oh, okay, Chris, go first.
Oh, you want me to go first? All right,
Yeah.
my hot take, bring back Celebrity Deathmatch. I don't know if the Gen Zers are old enough for that show,
Nope.
but there was a show on, I want to say it was MTV a long time ago called Celebrity Deathmatch,
Yes. it
where
was
they
on
would
TV.
pick random celebrities, make clay animation dolls out of them, and have them fight to the death.
I forgot about that thing.
I say bring it back, but here's the catch. We're not using clay animation anymore. Make them actually fight to the death.
Oh.
That should be like rich people.
Like
death
no,
match.
there was a thing. Elon Musk was gonna fight.
Oh,
What was
Zuckerberg.
it? Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
And they just been talking about it, and it's been on Twitter and Facebook, and but they never actually did it. I want to see them actually fight to the death.
Yeah,
didn't
Elon
Mark-
would
I
definitely
want
win.
billionaire
Didn't
blood.
Zuckerberg tear his ACL or something?
I don't know. I don't
He got
care.
injured.
Elon would
Zuckerberg
win.
is smaller. Like Elon Musk has mass and reach, but Zuckerberg's got skill. Like he's
I
training.
feel like I put my mind. That'd be a good bet.
So,
What do you
I
mean
don't know.
training?
Like, he actually
he's
goes
a
to,
black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Not to be reckoned with.
And Elon, what's he do?
Jiu-jitsu, but
he makes
he's
rockets.
just
Nothing.
nonetheless.
Makes rockets.
Elon
He
just
hires
makes
people
rockets.
that makes rockets.
He
He's just
can't.
big.
Nah, he can't pull an Iron Man in this. He's gone. It's Zuckerberg. He's finna do something with his
I
kneecaps.
would put my money on Zuckerberg
not
for sure.
compare
That's
him to Tony
crazy.
Stark.
I
But
did not know that.
I would also if the tables were going too hard, I would bet for Elon Musk just to make him feel like he's got a chance to get him to fight. It would be worth losing that money to me. I want celebrity death matches between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton.
Hey.
I want to see them go at it. I want Zendaya to knock the hell out of Selena Gomez. I love them both.
Why Zendaya?
I love
What
them
does
both.
she have to do with any
no,
of
no,
this?
no. I just want celebrities to fight. I don't
You
care
know, the
I
internet
don't care
would
who.
break. The internet would break if Selena and Hailey Bieber had to fight.
who. I'd pay for that. I would pay-per-view for that.
The internet would
Everybody
probably
would,
break.
yeah.
I don't even think
Justin?
as we're going on, I don't even think this is a hot take anymore. I think more people agree with me than I realized.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Not
I
a
want
hot
to
take.
see
It's just a take.
any celebrities fight.
I mean, if Zuckerberg's in there, he's going to win. easily.
It depends on who the
Mr.
billionaires are.
Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
That man is a robot.
Have you seen the princess? Hold on. I think it's like one of the princes of Qatar is like a straight up monster. He's like 6'9" and 480 pounds of solid muscle. Like
What the world?
he looks like the Hulk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Justin, you're up next.
All right. So my hot take is inspired by David Zaslav of Warner Brothers, who has been single-handedly ruining my streaming experience. Piracy needs to come back.
My man.
Like I want. So here's what's happened to me in the past 6 months. My Disney Plus subscription went from like, I don't know, it jumped up like $40 or $60 a
Literally.
year.
Literally.
Amazon is now adding ads unless you pay an extra $3 a month. Hulu and Disney Plus are now cracking down on password sharing the same way Netflix did.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I saw
And-
that.
I'm like, what? It's too much. It's too much. It's way too much. And then you got Warner Brothers with their Max app that's just like, hey, we're going to release a show. We're going to delete it like the next day. We're going to produce movies. We're going to throw them away.
Literally.
It's insane. It's insane. Not to mention the sheer amount of content that you just can't legally find anywhere unless you find like an ancient DVD at like a thrift store or some shit. No.
Your local library probably has one.
My local library is unfortunately too new, which is a weird thing to say for like finding old things.
Oh,
When it comes to movies and stuff. But anyways, point being, piracy needs to come back because all of these people are like, yeah, we need to make more money. And nah, I'm out. I'm out.
We need to share each other's Plexus account. Let's do this thing.
Mine is still non-existent. It's in the works.
There is a guy on TikTok, Mace Awindu, who he has this hilarious bit where people will talk to him about prices of stuff raising, or like they'll send him those notices or whatever, or he'll just be like reading a Warner Brothers announcement about stuff like that, and as he's doing it, he's slowly putting on like pirate's gear, like putting on a pirate hat and like the vest and the eye patch. Like, what are you doing? Nothing. Just mind your business.
Slight
so
disclaimer
millennial.
though,
I know.
with my
I was
hot
literally
take.
thinking the same thing.
I was gonna say support your local artists, support your indie artists,
There you go.
support
Oh, yeah.
your small
No.
businesses.
Small business, local artists, indie artists. You got to get that stuff from
oh
the
yeah.
source.
Screw UMG.
Yes.
UMG, David
Taking our
Zaslav,
fingers
anything he
off
touches, burn it to the ground.
TikTok.
Yeah.
These are not like bad hot
Everything's
takes.
muted.
I don't think these are really hot takes. These are just like
These are
I-
lukewarm takes.
yeah,
These
like
are
I'm
cold
on board for
takes.
these things. Like, yeah, this is not controversial to me. Like, I'm on board.
Oh no, people are secretive about piracy. I'm like, nah, be open about it.
Yeah.
Get a T-shirt, put a bumper sticker on your car. I don't care.
Get a bumper
Tell
sticker.
everybody
If they don't
until
catch you in the
these
act,
companies get
they
the
can't
message.
do anything about it.
Torrents, man.
Do they even put those warnings before films anymore?
You wouldn't
Where it's
steal a
like
car.
piracy is a crime.
You wouldn't download a car. Fuck you, I would.
I would absolutely download the car. Come on,
100%.
who wouldn't
I
download a
would.
car?
This is just a public service announcement. We need to make those
Look,
things
bro.
like a thing again.
Look,
Yes.
Amazon. I don't know if you guys are aware. Amazon is selling Hyundais now.
For real?
Like you
what?
can buy a Hyundai right off of Amazon.
Oh, wow.
So now I'm thinking like all these 43% off coupons. Like, how do I make that apply?
Discount applied. Discount
Yeah.
applied. Discount applied.
Like, you know those where they're like, yeah, if you see a code that's like lost 10%, you get 10% off. Try lost 90% because a lot of times programmers will try codes out and then not erase them.
yeah.
So sometimes it
Wow.
works. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that for cars.
You never know.
Wow,
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know.
It's like code HPMD Hyundai 98%. Try it.
Try
It might work.
Never
You
know.
might get a $40,000 car for $200. Who knows?
All right, guys, we are carrying this along. Our next segment of the show is a legendary one. It's a classic. It is.
What did I miss?
Yes, this is the part of the show where we like to mention some news that you probably didn't hear about. Today, I'm starting off with a good one. So, in an article by Dan Blicky in the Toronto Sun, Being in a good enough shape to complete a full 26.2 mile marathon at 52 years old is impressive. You guys ever run a marathon?
Yes.
Hell no.
Never.
Not on
No.
purpose. Not on purpose.
You catch me doing that kind of cardio.
No.
I ain't got time for that.
No.
I ain't running for free.
I ran a marathon once, but for most of it, I was in a car.
Well, yeah.
That's not running.
He continues to say to do it in 3 hours and 33 minutes is even more impressive. 52-year-old 3-hour marathon. That's pretty impressive, right?
That's an angel number. 333.
I guess.
Slay. Go for him.
Slay.
And to do so while chain smoking the entire race is downright insane. That's right, guys. We got ourselves a chain smoker marathon runner.
Huh.
All right.
I'm down for that.
Who would have thought?
I don't have words.
Like trying to die on purpose or like what?
This
He
is what
says,
a
maybe
man.
the next one will get me.
Just keep on running.
This is what a man named Uncle Chen did during the, I cannot pronounce this word, Xiamen Marathon in China earlier this year. But apparently, all of his effort is for naught because he has been disqualified.
Nah, run my nigga his trophy. Run my man his trophy.
So, reportedly, smoking on the track was the reason for disqualification.
That's not even right. If that's how that man gets down, let him live his life.
So Uncle Chen crossed the finish line just 5 minutes slower than his 3:28 finish from 2 years ago and placed 574th out of more than 1,500 runners this year.
That's wild.
He has
That's wild.
Crazy.
he has been at this for a while too. Uncle Chen was first photographed during the 2018, again, I'm sorry for the mispronunciation here, Guangzhou Marathon, which he completed in 3 hours and 36 minutes. He completed at the same marathon a year later, finishing 4 minutes better at 3:32. He previously had been allowed to complete while keeping up his bad habit. In other words, this is not his first rodeo. He's been like running and chain smoking marathons for a while now. This is his thing.
And he's
His
alive.
First rodeo.
But the Chinese Athletics Association implemented a new rule last year in an effort to promote healthy participation in curb smoking during events. I just want to know, were there other people doing this that were just maybe weren't doing as well? He's like, you know what? This guy's getting too good.
Could you imagine though, like being 575 in that race? Like you're training for months for this marathon.
That's crazy.
You're eating healthy.
That's crazy.
You're doing everything you can to be in the best shape of your life, and you get passed by some 50-year-old chain smoker.
Dude.
Like as he's smoking a cigarette, he just looks back
He
at you and
blows
just
the
like,
smoke in your face.
Like, and then just throws it.
throws it back at you and hits you in your knee, and you're like, ah!
That's crazy. That's funny.
So I felt, but it's like this reminded me of your comment the other day, Chris, about like what if we had an Olympics where it was like everyone is like put on drugs like to their maximum capability. I feel like this is like the opposite. It's like what if you're doing everything opposite? Like you're trying your worst, and still how good can you get?
Look, I feel like they should have stuff like that, like a normal people Olympics, a spiked Olympics, and then like the worst teams in the league should play a Super Bowl as well. Like the regular bowl.
The regular bowl.
Loser is deemed the worst team in the league.
That's funny.
I'd
The
watch
loser
that.
bowl.
I would
The
watch
loser
that
bowl.
There you
before
go.
I
Loser
watched the
bowl.
Super Bowl.
I feel that'd be more fun,
The
honestly.
subpar bowl.
The subpar bowl,
The mid bowl.
the mid bowl, nice. So that's my what did I miss? Tiara, you are up next.
Okay, guys. I have an article, and it is titled Elmo takes a turn as a therapist after asking, "How is everybody doing?"
That was a sad tweet for me.
Oh no!
It's just funny
Dang.
because I literally looked up weird news. This is the first article that I found, so this is just icing on the cake. So it says, at first glance, it might have looked like a run-of-the-mill social media check-in. How is everybody doing? But the message came from Elmo, the furry red friend to kids, Muppets, and anyone else. And Elmo is
Except
known
Rocco.
Not Rocco.
except Rocco. Not Rocco.
Yo, gang in this house. We are not down with Rocco.
Nobody's down with Rocco. If you're down with Rocco, we're not down
Rocco's
with
a
you.
rock.
Elmo is known on Sesame Street and beyond for his capacity to care. So the responses flooded in on X, which everybody knows is Twitter, and Instagram, Threads, and Facebook, and conversations sparked on Reddit and elsewhere. People unburdened themselves, and Elmo took it all in.
It was
On
so
X,
sad.
on X alone, Elmo's question received 180 million views by midday Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
So he
My
said,
goodness.
Elmo tweeted, he said, Elmo just checking in. How is everybody doing? And some people responded, just on my way to buy some balsamic vinegar. To which Elmo responded, Elmo hopes it's yummy. Other people responded, I'm doing okay. Hope you are too. Another commenter said, Elmo loves you. Other people wished Elmo a happy Friday, etc, etc. But then Elmo echoed this question on X and other platforms on Monday, and things took a turn.
Oh no.
Not well, Elmo. They done raised rent and everything at this point. I'm coming to live with you on Sesame Street.
No.
Elmo would love that. Hashtag neighbors. So it said, Elmo, I'm having a rough time. Love you, though. And then Elmo says, Elmo hopes you're doing okay. Elmo loves you today and every day.
Oh.
So people were just trauma dumping essentially on Elmo from Sesame Street. But Elmo was there to be the therapist for the world. So shout out to Elmo for the free therapy because nobody can afford it right now. Let's be real.
It's like Steve.
Bro. It was so dark. People were like getting crazy sad with it. It was like, yo, they found me guilty. My wife left me.
Oh my God.
Like my dog died. It was all kinds of bad stuff, dude. It was
So
bad.
when did it like simmer out? That's what I want to know. When did people just
I
stop?
think he made like a post like the next day or something. Hey guys, Elmo appreciated all of your responses.
That's funny.
And it was just like, I think it was a photo of Elmo holding something. It could have been like his dog or whatever, but he like sitting there smiling. The caption was so funny. But yeah, he was like, you.
Oh.
Go.
Anyone else watch those TikToks from Steve? Anyone?
From Blue's Clues?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see him.
Oh,
Same thing.
yeah.
Oh yeah, when he like blew up again.
Yeah.
One of those made me cry. I remember that. It was a really weird day.
Because he just listens, and it's just like, oh, Steve, let me tell you, buddy. Let me tell you.
If you only knew.
You know what? I feel like the guy that is the puppeteer for Elmo, his name has to be Steve. Because that's like the top tier name for men. Like, you know, you had like Karen for women. That's like the worst. Steve is the opposite of that.
Yes.
Steve is
Steve is a
the
good
good
one.
guy.
Yeah.
Nobody-
I know a Steve.
Oh, is he good?
Uh-oh.
No.
Oh.
Wait. Does he go by Steve or does he go by Steven? Because there's a difference.
Oh yeah. Is his name actually Steve?
He goes by
By what?
so Steve.
Oh.
My brother's
He's
name is
just trying to take-
Steven,
He's just trying to take the name.
Yeah.
but my brother doesn't go by
Stevens.
Steve.
Yeah, I get you there. But Steve's?
Stevens just sound evil.
Steven.
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 What's not clicking?
By the way, the
Steven?
guy who controls Elmo, his name is Kevin.
Wow.
Close.
Kevin.
It's close.
That's pretty
and
neutral.
Kevin and Steve
That's- yeah, that's not
they're
bad.
similar.
Nah, Kevin sound
Kevin
sus.
Bacon?
Kevin, yeah.
Nah, this Kevin's black.
Oh, go Kev.
He's safe. Go Kev.
Yeah, we all knew Elmo was black. It's like right now he can't, but
Balsamic
when he
vinegar?
gets a little older, he's going to say the N-word.
Oh.
He's going to be fine. He's only 3.5.
Is he really only 3.5?
Yeah.
That's canon.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Seriously?
canon.
He just turned 3.5, which means that a year in the life of a Muppet is 38. 70. What is 76? 76 human years is one Muppet year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they did the math.
Because he came out as 3 years old 38 years ago. It was his third birthday. So now he's 3.5, which means 38 years have passed, which means 76 years for a full Muppet year. Don't ask me how I know the math.
So he
I saw that
started
video.
as a 3-year-old
Yeah,
is when he
correct.
was introduced?
yeah. He was introduced as a 3-year-old, and recently he turned 3.5.
I don't like that.
That's
That
that's
just
weird.
means that Elmo's gonna outlive me, and I'm fine with that.
Oh,
Like
Elmo
dogs.
is immortal.
Elmo is to us what we are to dogs.
It's just a burning Elmo.
Oh, wait. Kevin's done. He's retired from Elmo.
No,
Oh,
Kevin.
Kevin.
I
It's
love
now-
that. I love that we all collectively fell in love with Kevin like a second ago.
Yes.
And now that we know he's retiring, we're all like, not Kevin.
Not Kevin.
He was the
Nah,
best
he
of
retired
us.
like 10 years ago. There's now some guy
Kevin.
named Ryan Dillon.
Ryan?
Ew, he sounds white.
Ryan.
Ryan Dillon. Why do you have 2 first names
Why are
as
they
your
two
first
white
and
first
middle
names?
names? That's funny.
Oh, man. Oh, white people.
Elmo
All right,
is
guys.
sentient. We're not going to talk about it.
On that note, guys, we are moving along. We got some love to talk about in this next segment, so we will be right back.
Right back.
Thank you all for listening to our podcast. Be sure to subscribe and leave a rating on your favorite podcast platform and YouTube. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at AlwaysMorePod.
If you'd like to ask us a question for us to answer on the pod, you can email us at alwaysmorepodcast@gmail.com, or you can call us on our Always More hotline and leave a voicemail question at 254-218-4042.
You can also follow all of our social medias individually and as the Always More podcast. Thanks for listening. Let's get back to it.
All right, everyone. We are back. And guys, it is no coincidence that we have an episode titled Always More Love, because today is Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Unless you're
B-Day.
listening to it
Valentine's Day.
after our release date, in which case,
Happy
whatever
B-Day.
day it was Valentine's Day.
But still happy Valentine's to you. I mean, the Valentine's isn't just stuck on one day. I
No,
mean, it
it's
shouldn't be.
just one day.
No, I mean, there's
No.
That's
love.
the
that goes
only
every-
time you can show love is on Valentine's Day.
Well, Chris, I feel sorry for Janelle.
He's right. You know.
You want to know what I learned today?
What'd you learn?
I learned that Mistresses Day is the day before and after Valentine's Day.
Wow.
That's funny.
Oh my god.
And that's always a really interesting time to go out to restaurants and like people watch.
Carly gave me an idea.
That is so.
You're welcome.
You should make that a date.
Thank
that
you.
sounds so interesting.
Write that down. Write that down.
People watching. That's crazy.
No, what you need to do is on Valentine's Day, go out people watching, but just look for people wearing purple
Ooh.
or,
Yes.
or black.
Yes. I know
Because
exactly
those
where
are the
you're going
people
with
that are
this.
protesting Valentine's Day.
1,000%.
Why do people protest Valentine's Day?
Because
Like I
they're
Because they
understand,
don't have a love
Purple.
on Valentine's Day.
bitter.
but that's just like,
They're bitter and jealous or just sad.
ugh.
Valentine's nowadays, Valentine's isn't even about like couple romance. It's just about like
Loving people
Love.
around you.
That's because nowadays people can't
Says the
afford
people
to be
in a relationship.
in a couple.
hey, even before I was in a relationship, I did Galentine's Day.
Yeah. I still do
I
Valentine's
kinda
Day.
did.
I did Valentine's Day.
No, we're saying
Even
Galentine's.
yeah, even outside of like being in a couple, I still did Valentine's Day. I would just pick somebody.
Oh, that's sweet.
Just be like, yeah, you look like
You telling me I wasn't the only
might-
one?
date.
Oh,
Christopher.
I gave you Valentine's.
He took you out on Mistresses Day.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Oh,
You know what? You know what? I think
So,
I
like-
actually did once.
I think you probably did.
I'm pretty sure I
Wow.
did. I took you out.
That's probably
the
when I
day-
was third wheeling back
the
in the
day
day.
after, or the day before.
That's crazy.
No, I know for a fact I took you the day before once.
We went somewhere.
Yeah,
That's funny.
it was,
How
sweet.
romantic.
It was very romantic. They asked us if
very.
we were gay. We get that a lot.
We guys. Okay. So if Maria, if you're listening, I'm talking about you. But guys, one of the people that was just listening to our podcast, like I said, she started with episode 1, and like she knows me pretty well. But she goes, so she starts listening to it, and she goes, "Are you and Chris gay?" And it's just like, like no, thank you very much, but no. He made it very clear that I'm not his type, and I'm still bitter about that. But it's fine. It's fine.
It's okay.
that doesn't make any sense though, because you guys always used to say. Well, I'm sorry. You guys always used to say that you didn't. You guys like marry each other's. Like you are
Yeah,
attracted to
no, I
people that are the
just-
same personality.
Personality-wise, yes.
yes.
Physically, though, he's not my type. He's a little too masculine.
Oh, what
He
do you want
needs
to
to
wear? A
be a
freaking
twink.
mini skirt? Like what?
Yes.
Oh,
No, Harley's absolutely right.
What did Harley say?
That Tim needs to be a twink.
Just wait. Just wait.
You gonna shave?
Give him a couple months.
You gonna shave? Yo, that's
He who cleans house expects visitors. That's what Hunter told me.
All right, guys.
Wow.
Let's move along here.
That's a Confucius quote, apparently.
We want to talk about a few of our favorite love things, including this first part is our greatest love moments or dates. Everyone
I
kind of
thought
wrote things
that's what
down.
we were doing. So
Oh. Guys, we have an order, but there is no order. So if everyone wants to chip in and say what your favorite moments or acknowledgments of love out there, I'm going to start first. I'm just going to get this thing rolling. I've had the pleasure of witnessing one of my favorite relationships in the whole entire world, and that is Christopher Thomas Ford and his wife, Janelle Saffron Ford.
Yes.
stop.
I remember when Chris met Janelle. I wasn't there, but I remember when he started talking about her all the time. And ever since then, he respectfully and in a kind manner pursued her, even when she was dating a asshat of a guy who should not be named.
Look, since day one, I was trying to put them titties in my mouth.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my God.
Respectfully.
Take him out.
Respectfully.
You are done.
Respectfully, I would like to. Yeah, no.
You're done.
I would like to go back to 10
Respectfully.
seconds ago when I didn't hear that.
I'm
Oh,
sorry, babe.
gosh.
I'm sorry.
She's going to murder you after she hears that.
yes.
Absolutely.
What a heavenly
Rest in
way
peace.
to die.
Death by snooze.
Death by snoo.
On a real note, I love them and they're awesome, and I've loved seeing their relationship build over the years. And as Chris gets more bold, Janelle gets more courageous and violent towards him, and that's always fun to see. So, yeah, that's what I got.
All right.
Try to call out names.
Yeah.
I would say
Harley.
I'm going to go.
Yeah. There we go.
That was a teacher moment. You want me to
Love
call
when
on you?
I've gone to.
Popcorn.
Oi! Oi!
Oi, oi. Sorry.
Sorry.
Oi.
Sorry.
Go on, Harley.
I love when I've gone to weddings and I can see like the genuine love they have for each other is like palpable in like the ceremony.
It's almost disgusting, and I
Yeah.
love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Same.
And they're just so happy. And especially when you can tell the day isn't like stressful for them.
Oh yeah.
Like they're just vibing, just living their best life.
I
And
feel
I'm
like that's how my wedding was.
beautiful.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I
Beautiful.
love that.
I didn't get to see that.
Look, we weren't like.
Get remarried.
12.
Oh, we plan to actually.
Actually, wait, was I really? Would I have been 12?
No.
No, not 12.
Wait.
Really?
Close,
What year did you get married?
10 years ago.
14.
2014.
14.
Oh, so yeah, would have been
That
14.
was close. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think we had
Do it
just met you
Aw.
because you had come to our
Yeah.
house for one of Tim's youth group things. Or you came to Tim and my house. for
Oh
one
yeah,
of-
we did
for one
live
of our
together
youth
then.
group things.
Yeah.
Hey, I also got married in 2014.
Nice.
Wow.
Yep. Not still married, but hey, you know.
Hey.
Yeah, you know,
Cheers, buddy.
1 and 2.
2014, buddy.
Wow. What a year.
Yeah.
Anyways.
I'll go next.
Sorry to bring everything down.
So one of my favorite love stories outside of my own personal relationship, I really like the Irwins love story.
Oh,
Yes.
I love the Irwins.
Yes.
Steve Irwin and his wife, whose name I'm blanking on right now.
Mm.
The crocodile
Wait, what
hunter.
did you just say?
No, I like it sounds like
Steve
just-
Irwin, the crocodile hunter.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Crikey, she's a
Like,
beaut.
Oh,
it
my
was clicking, but it
gosh.
wasn't clicking. I'm sorry.
That's
I
fine.
know. I
It
know.
happens. It's been a long time, and you were young.
Yes.
So one of my favorite things is that he passed away a long time ago.
Terry.
And Terry, thank you. Oh, that was gonna drive me crazy. Terry
about to say,
has
I
been
think it starts with a
interviewed,
T.
like, so many times, and they're like, "Well, are you ever gonna get it back out there and get dating again?" And her response is, I found my one true love. He passed. That was it for me. No man will ever live up to Steve, and I'm done.
I love that, actually.
And if I die, I want that to happen for Janelle. She's never going to remarry. She just loves me so much. If something
I
happens
don't
to her,
think that's what Steve would have said.
no, absolutely, it's not. But Steve is a better man than I am. If something happens to her, God forbid, I am absolutely going to have to remarry. Not for love. I won't be for love. It'll be for money, 100%. Money and caretaking, because I will not make it without her. 100%. If she's gone, I'm going soon after.
We got to move in together,
from
buddy.
either heartbreak or I'm just not going to be able to take care of myself. Either way. So,
You have a child.
yep. And hopefully, if something happens to Janelle, she will be self-sufficient by that time. Because
Oh my God.
she's got
You scare
godparents.
me.
Look, she's got good godparents. Tim can take care of her, or my brother-in-law can take care of her. Like, she'll be fine.
Chris is just gonna give up. He's just like, I'm out.
Yeah, no, that's it. If she's gone, I'm logging out. It is what it is. Sorry, not sorry. And the reason being would be my other thing is, like, for one of my favorite love things is just in my relationship, it's the little things that we do. Like, I make her coffee in the morning a lot of times. I don't even drink coffee. I just make her coffee. She makes me tea a lot of times. Or like when I came home, she said, hey, I feel like you want an omelet. And I had been thinking about omelets all day. She just knew that. And she made me an omelet. So I ate an omelet for dinner. And I'm very happy with that omelet. Last time I was in the hospital, I woke up and she was singing to herself. I love that. She didn't even realize I was awake. I heard her. I don't even know if she knew she was singing. It's the little things. I like that stuff. So that's mine.
I love that.
Adorable.
I love love.
Beautiful.
It makes me want to just love. That was beautiful.
Just die.
Actually, we had just watched an episode of 1923 where two characters were talking, and it was a similar situation that Janelle and I had found ourselves in a while back. And what he was saying was supposed to be like one of the greatest love moments of that show, and everybody talks about it in the reviews, and they're like, "Oh, that was so perfect." That's a conversation we had. Like, it was the same conversation we had. And I was like, "Oh, that's us. That's that stuff, you know." So that's what I got. Next.
Beautiful.
Anyone
Slay.
else?
Georgian.
Was this
Georgian.
greatest love moments or greatest like dates? Because I see dates and love
Either.
moments.
Either or.
Okay, well,
Both.
my idea for like love moments and dates is the spontaneous times that we don't plan anything. What could be the smallest to biggest things, going on big dates, going somewhere, traveling, or just sitting in the house, or just driving. Spontaneous, always on the run. So I like it.
For those of you that aren't watching, Jordan is slowly leaning towards Tiara, and I think that's adorable.
I see it. I see it.
It's
That's
cute.
Oh,
It's disgustingly adorable.
Moments.
He'll get married or something.
disgusting.
About time.
Almost there,
Start
guys.
the countdown.
Four
Oh
more
wait, I have one more
months.
thing.
Okay.
Slay. Oh, I just wanted to say, Jim and Pam. I think they're adorable.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a
Jim and
good
Pam.
one.
Dorps.
Agreed.
That's a good one.
All right, we're moving along. Anyone else got anything to say about that?
No.
All right.
I'm good.
Wait, was that something? No? You just saying no?
No, he said no.
Oh, okay. Greatest romantic movie, shows, books, music, or anything else like of the sort. Harley.
Oh, Jim and Pam.
Nice. Moving on.
Wait, no, Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, that movie.
Have you
Yeah.
seen the
Ew.
2005 version? Ah,
Yes.
so good.
Not a fan.
Hot take.
Pride
Never
and
seen
Prejudice.
Pride and Prejudice. Oh.
You know, it was a
It's
book
not like,
before that.
you
right?
know,
Yeah, I know it's a book too, but I
super-
don't read.
Fair.
So.
I feel like that's a very white thing, though. To be fair, Tiara.
Yeah.
Pride and
Facts.
Prejudice? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's so
Very much
white.
So.
Yes.
Is it like olden days type
It's-
stuff?
When
Yeah.
I was
Yes.
in 8th
Yep.
grade, we had to read Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think in 10th grade, I had to read Wuthering Heights,
Yep.
which are like the 3 greatest love stories ever written according to literature. I cannot stand.
It's all
I
white
thought that
people.
was Shakespeare. What am I trying to say?
Shakespeare.
Romeo and Juliet. I thought
No,
that was
Romeo
one
and
of the
Juliet's
greatest.
not a love story. It's
I know
a
because they.
tragedy.
Well,
That's a
yeah, but don't
tragedy.
people say it's a love story too?
They do because they're
Yeah.
wrong.
Oh,
He met that girl
Facts.
like 2 days before he killed himself for her.
yeah. I mean, I always thought it was stupid. I was just asking.
That's
if it
just
was one
teenage
of
hormones. They were
the, yeah,
It's a divine
like, I
comedy.
think
It's supposed to
Juliet
be
was like
satirical.
13 and
Satirical?
Romeo was like 17.
that's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Could you imagine being a senior in high school and killing yourself over an 8th grader?
Yeah, when you put it that way, that's
It's disgusting.
it's a little weird.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was going to
That's
say,
my hot take of the day. Romeo and Juliet sucked.
I was going to say Love Actually, which is really good.
Oh yeah.
Really, really good.
Love Actually.
But yeah, that one came out probably like 2005 question mark. Who knows? But there's this one couple was when Snape was cheating on his wife, and I was like, hard pass. But it's the actor who plays Snape. But anyways, yeah, that's all I have to say.
I got 3 things for consideration. Oh, Justin, you want to go first?
Oh yeah,
Justin,
sure.
go.
Mine is Clark Kent and Lois Lane in the
My
comics.
man.
Hell yeah.
Like,
Let's talk about
They-
that for a second.
I mean, I think that they are the best couple
I knew I
in
liked you for a
all
reason.
of comicdom. Like, I mean, the love and the trust and the independence, and the
But
way they
also the
overcome.
protection, like from both of them.
Yeah.
Like Lois
Yeah.
knows his secret, and as the greatest reporter in the world, has never once even let it slip.
That's not entirely true.
Well,
But-
yeah, fair. But
There's the whole
no.
time his secret identity was public,
I don't care.
and they have a kid now,
wasn't her
and
fault.
he's great, and it's, I don't know. I think that their love is like more realistic to like what you would see in real life. Like a lot of comic book, it's like, yeah. A close second to me, if we're gonna stick with comic books, would be Wally West and Linda
And
Park.
Linda Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
Iris West is Wally's
it's
aunt.
Barry
Wally, Linda, yeah. Yeah, they are probably my favorite 2 fictional couples.
Fair enough. One of the
So-
greatest comic scenes involving Superman and Lois and their connection is there was a scene, I want to say it was like 2003, there was a comic that came out where he was in Kansas visiting his mom, and she was in Africa.
Kansas.
Yeah. She was in Africa doing something for a report, and somebody pulled a gun on her. Her heart skipped 1 beat, and then they pulled the trigger. And he flew to Africa because he heard her heart skip the beat, focused his super hearing on her, heard the hammer fall on the gun, and he caught the bullet.
Insane.
Like, he knew she needed him and was there in an instant. And then, like, after she was safe, he didn't
Wow.
even fight the guy. He just took the gun and flew back to Kansas.
Stop it. No.
Yeah. He was like, look, I'm not here to stop what you're doing. I'm not going to change who you are as a reporter. I know you need to be here. I'm just going to protect you.
Mm.
And then he just left.
It's like, hey, it's like, you got this. Like,
Yeah.
you didn't have that tiny little thing.
I got
But
you.
you
where
got the rest
need
of this.
me, but you
I'm
got the
out.
rest of it. And I've always loved
Wow,
that scene.
today's men could never.
Never.
I do my best, but you know,
Never.
I'm not Superman, so
Yeah.
I'm no super.
Yeah, the whole not being faster than a speeding bullet. That's
You know, that
problematic.
Factors, yeah,
a speeding bullet on the other side of the planet.
It does create some problems.
it does.
I wish I were. Never be late.
Do better.
Do better be late. Do better.
I'll put in my 3 pieces here. There's a movie that came out just last year called Past Lives. I think it's one of the better movies about romance and also a reflection on lost romance.
I heard about that one.
It is fantastic and it's heartbreaking, and you will need tissues. It's one of those things to where you don't end up the way you think it should, kind of thing, and it's perfectly made that way. Like it's one of those things that you just don't see very often, and it's made very well in the sense of it's a reflection on kind of like you've always had those thoughts of what if, what would have happened with this person or that person, and how could have things gone better or differently or worse and whatever. And it truly kind of paints one of a more truer depictions of what that looks like. And one of my favorite parts about it is it's in the silences. Is like there's always, you've had those moments with people where it's just silence and you don't say anything, but there's like this vibe that you feel that you can't put words to, but you just feel it and you know it. And that movie does this brilliantly. And so that's one of my favorite ones because of that. Next up, How I Met Your Mother.
Great show.
I think it's still my favorite love show of all time because it just depicts all of life. And up until the last 3 minutes of the entire show, it's the perfect show ever.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I feel like they should have changed the ending, but it was a great show.
Yeah. And then last but not least, I did put a song there because, I like songs. The Book of Love by Peter Gabriel, I think is a fantastic
Still gets
rendition
me.
of the song. It's just, man, my
That
heart
still
every
gets
time.
me.
If you've seen the season finale of Scrubs, you definitely draw a connection to it as well from that way. But Peter Gabriel, his voice with those lyrics is just perfect. It's just perfect. That's all I got.
Lovely.
Speaking of songs, I'm going to say Anything by Hozier.
Ooh.
Like
Real.
not a song called Anything by Hozier.
Real.
Like anything Hozier's written. I feel like that man is inspired by a fae queen, and she is slowly draining his life at the cost of him being able to write those songs.
Yeah. Beautiful.
There's a fae legend of Ireland called Leanne Shea, where basically her favorite prey is poets and bards, and she boosts their creativity at the cost of their lives, and they slowly die, but they fall in love with this woman, they worship her, they write her songs and lyrics and poems and things like that until the day that they actually do die. I feel like he has definitely been taken by one of those.
Feel that.
It's pretty baller.
Yeah.
But it's working
Love
out.
that for him.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
works out.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's a happy
I
way
love
to
that
die.
for me, actually.
love that for all of us, really.
Yeah, we all
finally
benefit.
found one that got a recording record deal. So
Good stuff.
Okay. Well, mine is The Notebook.
Slay.
I love The Notebook. I mean, I'm sure everybody's familiar.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling,
Rachel
awesome.
McAdams.
But
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, both of them. That movie made me fall in love with Ryan Gosling.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't see that movie as a love story.
really,
It's really creepy if you think about it.
It's
Oh,
kind of toxic, but
Yeah.
that's what it is.
It's very toxic.
I mean, I
I
think.
knew you were going to go there.
Well, when I think about it, I think about the end, and I think about like this
yeah, no, I
guy
totally feel you in the end.
tells the
I
story
literally just
over
told
and
y'all That's
over
gonna be my life.
to his wife with Alzheimer's, just so she can remember for a good 2 minutes
Mm-hmm.
what they
That was
had.
the part that made me cry.
That part made
Nothing
me
else in the film.
sob.
Yeah.
Just the old people.
Honestly, that's the only part that I solely remember.
They died in the same bed.
Yeah, that too.
That's gonna be me.
Yeah, okay.
Janelle's gonna die. And
Beautiful.
I'm gonna be like, oh, well,
Time to go.
guess me too. Guess me too.
Yeah, but that's it. I mean, all right, that's all I have to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that.
Okay. Go ahead,
Jenna,
Jordan.
You're up
Mine's
next.
on a lighter note. It's Crazy Rich Asians.
I love that movie.
I
That's a great
love,
one.
I haven't
That's a
seen
great
it.
one.
So
love.
good.
Oh my God,
It's
please
on my
watch
server.
it.
It's such an easy watch.
It's
It's
so
so
easy.
easy.
I just haven't made it to it.
Well, you
Yeah.
should.
Holy shit. So good.
Sorry.
I was just talking about that with one of my coworkers the other day because apparently the book is more oriented on like the class difference, like the money and stuff. Because obviously it's about like rich people who are living in excess and stuff like that. But obviously the movie focuses more on like the romance because it's
Movies.
pretty good,
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah, it's a film, but I was like, wow, crazy how they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had to make it more interesting.
They did.
Make it juicy.
But I think they made it the juiciest the juice they could have made it.
It's a great one.
It's great.
The wedding. Ah,
The
Oh my
wedding.
God, that wedding. Can we walk on water at our wedding?
Yeah, there'll be water around.
There be water around.
In cups.
Yeah, hey, I'll pour some on the ground and you guys can just like step over it.
Yeah.
And y'all are you gonna hold those leaf things that they held in the movie?
Yes,
Are you
I'll find
providing
one.
No.
If you provide
I'll just like
them,
your
break
own
it
leaf.
off like a tree and just start waving it.
it's gonna be an oak leaf from
Fan it.
outside.
Hope you're not allergic.
Pollen just. That's funny.
This dress was white when I bought it.
All right, guys, we are wrapping up this segment with the best and so much worst dating relationship advice. Guys, just throw it out there. What do we got?
Why do I sound like that?
I feel like we all got something.
I got something.
Let's start with best.
Best.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
Harley, you want to go first or me? Or who?
You go first.
I only see our notes in the thing. Okay, so
I
this
don't
is
need
the
notes.
best.
I got lots.
This is the best word of advice that I've ever received, and I feel like I got this from my grandparents, but I genuinely don't remember where I heard it. But it's helped me a lot in my relationship with Jordan, just because if we're being completely transparent, I had anger issues very bad when we first started like dating. And so it was always an issue when we had arguments. The arguments would turn into something way bigger than it really needed to be. And so the advice that I have is you're not my enemy. The problem is our enemy.
Yep.
I feel like that was my grandparents that told me that, but I know it's also a very common word of advice, but it's so true. Like now when me and Jordan have arguments and we're getting to that heated spot, we will literally look at each other and be like, you're not my enemy. And we will refocus the problem onto what is the enemy in this? Why are we like, what are we mad about? And then
That's
we
really good
fight
advice.
the other enemy, which is the problem.
That's something Janelle and I have been doing for a really long time. It's advice we got that she definitely took to heart before I did. But it is something that we do pretty often, like when we get into arguments, because every couple argues, doesn't matter how perfect we are.
Absolutely.
Whenever we get into arguments or debates or whatever you want to call them, like it gets a little heated sometimes. We got to like separate for a minute, and then usually before we go to sleep, we're like, all right, look, I understand this is where you're coming from. This is where I'm coming from. Those two don't line up. Obviously, that's why we're fighting. But what is the common goal here? Like, what do we both want out of this?
Mm-hmm.
And it works.
Mm-hmm. It works every time. It's amazing. So that was my, I think that's my favorite piece of advice that I have ever received. And I mean, a lot of people try to give advice and sometimes it's not good. So yeah. And then the other one that I had, this one's more of like a me thing that I've just kind of learned over time, but it's make time to be alone without your partner and find things that you can enjoy on your own. You know, because your me time is still just as important as all the time that you're putting into your relationship. You know, make sure that you're not losing yourself in your relationship and you're finding time to keep things that are just, you know, for yourself that you, that keep you going, you know?
Gotta be you.
Gotta be you. And that's all for me. So yeah.
I love snaps.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Can I go next?
Please.
Yeah,
Sure.
please.
Go girl.
Me, coach. Put me in, coach.
The ladies are taking
Okay.
over.
Slay. I would say didn't finish my sentence, and that's okay. Keep getting to know, like who you like with this person. Like make space for conversations of like feelings and change in feelings, change in thoughts, etc. Because people can't read your mind.
That part.
That's good.
If you like bask in this, like whatever you may be going through, ever tell your partner about it. And it's a completely different thing if your partner's like the root of the problem, you know what I mean? Like they are the one causing you to feel this way. I mean, you should communicate regardless, but I'm saying like if you're going through stuff and you're just like balling it all up, your partner is probably the best person for you to confide in because they can just like, they're like supposed to be your comfort, like your safe space, stuff like that. So
I like that.
I think that's really important.
Tacking on to that in a way that I don't think most people would connect. Janelle and I used to be very lost in the sauce when it comes to like relationships, just based on our evangelical upbringing. I know some of y'all are still in that realm, and that's fine. One thing that we've come to realize is we used to be 100% against divorce. Like, never should that be an option. But I think it does need to be an option because people change, things can go south, and at some point, it may be better for you to be apart than be together, and that's okay. You should always want to work towards not getting a divorce. Like, if you can, find any other route, but don't shut that route out, because that's how people end up in marriages for 50 years that just grade them down. It grinds you to a dust, and you're just a shell of who you used to be. It's okay to break up, especially if you're not already married. Like, I am a huge proponent of breaking up. Anytime somebody's like, I'm having this problem and it seems too big, break up. You're not married. Find somebody else. Move on. But it needs to be an option. And I realize I'm saying that like as a happily married person who has no intent on divorcing ever. But
Hey, I will echo that.
I feel like it should be an option.
Hey, I will echo that as a divorced person, just because it's like, yeah, I was in that system where it's like, okay, divorce is not an option. And I was miserable for 2 years until multiple people, like unrelated to each other, started confronting me and being like, hey, yo, you need to get your shit together or you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, it was bad. Like, no, like one of my oldest friends, we've been friends for 16 years. Like, I don't like being friends with you right now. She's like, you're just miserable all the time. And yeah, I know that doesn't sound like positive relationship advice, but I will say, like, for an individual, yeah,
It's
like
good advice.
After the split, you know, I got into therapy and, you know, I worked through a lot of my problems and I'm better off for it. But it took a lot for me to get there. And I wouldn't want anyone else to go through
Exactly.
the 6 years of hell that I did.
See, for my parents, it was 30 years. And I didn't realize how bad it was until my dad left. And even then, it was a couple of years after that before I realized how bad it had gotten. And it was bad, guys. Like, I resented my dad for leaving for years. And then I realized what was actually going on. And now I'm like, well, I regret those years that I resented him. Like, I get it now. He should have left
Yeah.
a long time ago. And granted, it's not all my mom's fault. It's not all my dad's fault. It's between the two of them. They were toxic together. They should have split, but they held on, and it got really bad before it got better.
Yeah, some people just aren't supposed to be together, and that's okay.
I mean, they made me, so
That's
I'm
okay.
pretty stoked about that. But
Yeah.
outside of that,
Dollar.
like,
That was
Pretty great.
they could have made me and then split. Like, as long as I'm here, you know?
Yeah.
I'm proud of that. You have that mindset,
Yeah.
Oh, it's not going to last long.
buddy. Yeah, well, you got this.
You know, going off of that in some very minor way, it makes sense in my head. I don't know if it's going to make sense to all of you. That's fine. It doesn't matter. I think that, you know, a good piece of advice that I got was that, like, relationships are, they're equal. Like, you're not going to show up every day and be like, all right, I'm going to do half, you're going to do half, I'm going to give half, you're going to give half. It's like, some days somebody have it in them to give a
Yeah.
lot.
Yes.
No,
And
some days I'm
it's
at
like that-
20% and Janelle can carry the 80. Some
Yeah.
days she's at 30 and I can carry the 70. Some days it is 50-50. But if you're expecting that all the time, there's going to be days where she's at 5 and you're at 40, and that's just not enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, like some day it's like some days you're not going to hit that 100%, and it's like
Most days.
okay to deal with that, to like sit in that. Like, I mean, think about like all, not even talking about relationship responsibilities, but like basic living responsibilities.
Yeah.
It's like if I'm the person who has to do the dishes and I had the worst day at work and I come home and I don't got me, and if she doesn't have it in her, it's like those dishes can be tomorrow's problem,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or maybe the day after tomorrow's problem, because isn't enough between the two of us to reach that. I think people need to be more okay with that rather than trying to put through and at least resent, bitterness, and just unhealthy behaviors, not slowing down. So that's
Real.
that's a big one for me, is that yeah, it's like no, it's not going to be equal.
Mm-hmm.
Also financially too. Like some people are really uncomfortable about that financially, but like in my current relationship, I am more financially stable than partner, which is fine. I have less overhead. I mean, I'm renting out my sister's basement right now, so my rent is dirt cheap, and she's not. So it's like I can pick up the slack. Like I can pay for more when we go out on dates or we go out to eat or whatever. So, and that's been a hard thing for us to navigate, because she's like, well, he's like, I don't feel like I'm doing my fair share at times, but it's like, that's okay, because
Fair
I have
isn't always 50-50.
there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Solid advice.
I'll piggyback
Solid.
off of top both of those, and it's kind of like a twofer, but
Twofer.
you don't always
for
have
one.
to be the rescuer,
Mm.
and you don't always have to be the giver. And I think
Yeah.
that means for some people who have the hero complex and people who like to give, it's so easy to want to rescue what is around you and want to make it better. And sometimes it's not always meant to be better. And so it's learning to respect when things are being given from both sides. Just because a relationship is failing doesn't mean you have to give harder to make it better. It's supposed to be not equal, but it's supposed to be an even playing field, and there's supposed to be a giving and taking on both sides. And so, to me, a relationship is not about rescuing one another, in the sense of you have to fix something in the relationship. You're there for one another. You're there to be there for one another as a comforter, but it's not your role to be the fixer.
Yeah. That sounds like some really good advice. Like a sage would have given you that kind of advice.
On the opposite
good.
side of that, I'll say that I think one of the proudest things I think I've been privileged in having in relationships is being the person who likes to pursue, in the sense of having fun, and like there is a fun in the chase, and not in like a I must possess you, but in the sense of I want to be a part of your adventure. And like that to me is always exciting. Like I'm excited about adventures and what's to come around the corner, unexpected adventures. And so making your life an adventure, I think, should be a priority.
I like that one.
That's good advice.
That's a quote
That's really
right there.
nice.
Somebody put that on a poster
For real.
with a little cat.
Write that down.
hanging
Write
from
that
a
down.
tree. Yeah. All right.
Ooh, I love that
How
one.
about on that same train of thought? What's some of the worst advice? Because like for me, some of the worst advice I've ever received, and I didn't realize it was bad until I was like a couple years into my marriage. Because again, being lost in the sauce, that'll happen to you. You just take whatever advice you're given from quote
Anybody.
unquote trusted people.
Ooh-wee.
Some of the worst advice I got was, don't change who you are for each other, or don't try to fix this person. You just accept them for who they are.
Ooh, that can be dangerous.
That is shitty advice. That's not dangerous. That's shitty advice.
Yeah.
Because you're in a relationship with somebody. That means that your lives are intertwined. If you're single and you're growing up, nobody expects you to be the same person as you were 5 years ago.
Right.
Exactly.
Or the same person you're going to be in another 5 years. Why do they expect that in a relationship?
That part.
You two should be growing, and you should be growing individually as people, but also together.
It's kind of like when like that whole personality plus thing came out when we were in high school. I'm sure it didn't come out then, but like when we've kind of caught on to it and we found out like our personalities. And I know full on,
you're
like
a
without a
cleric,
doubt.
You're a sanguine.
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
a
yeah.
phlegmatic.
So I
or
must
a
be an
melancholic.
asshole choleric person. Like I remember that was my thing. I was like, all right,
Yeah,
so
I
I'm the
remember that
cleric.
too.
Yes.
It's like I must take charge and I must be this asshole. Like no, you don't have to be those things. You could just
You
be
can
a decent
change.
human being and like grow up.
And
Or,
in a
like-
relationship, you should change together.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should be seeking change.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Like-
change is good.
How can I make myself a better person, not just for you, but for me?
Right.
And how can you do the same, not just for me, but for you?
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully, as we both change, those changes bring us closer.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't, refer to my first piece of advice: divorce.
Mm-hmm. I will say, for anybody listening to this, this is just advice from me. But if you are in an argument and somehow along the lines you come across the words, well, this is just who I am,
Red flag.
that is the
Red flag.
fattest red flag. If they're
Red
not
flag.
willing to improve or change themselves to not just be better for you, but to be better for the relationship as a whole, it's not worth it.
That is
And
how
themselves.
most of my arguments end with Janelle. Look,
Yeah.
this is why I said what I said, or what I did, who I am. But moving forward, I will do better.
Yes.
Yeah, it doesn't depend on what sign you are. Doesn't matter what religion you follow, what God you listen to. Just try not to be an asshole. Like try to have communication and be an adult and like learn to be better. Like it's okay that and it's okay if it's not natural to you. That's one thing, but like you can learn and grow and adapt.
It's real simple advice. It's the same advice you should get from reading the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, whatever. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
That's the whole thing.
That's it. That's another quote.
I can summon the Bible, or I can sum up the Bible in 2 sentences. Love God, don't be a dick. That's it. That's the whole Bible. Throw in some history, you got it.
That's it.
I had a barber who had a sticker on a fridge in this place that said, "Don't be a dick, be a dude," and that's always stuck with me.
Oh yeah,
good. I like
that's
it.
it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Like it seems so simple, but that's all it takes. Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Like a piece of advice I give a lot of young couples, if and when they ask, or sometimes when they don't ask, is I tell them always make her coffee. It doesn't
Yeah.
like genuinely mean just every time she wants coffee, make coffee. Like in the mornings, I make Janelle coffee a lot of times. I haven't done it a lot lately because our schedules have been changing, things have been shifting, it's been weird. But when I say always make her coffee, I do that knowing that I'm never going to drink that coffee. I don't drink coffee. I do it for her. It's a little thing that I do just to say, hey, thinking about you, I love you. Sometimes, like, she'll say, oh, my feet hurt. I'll rub her feet. Sometimes she's like, hey, can you pop my back? I'll pop her back. Sometimes she needs something on a top shelf, and, like, she can get a stool and get it herself, but why not let me reach it? I'm a little bit taller. I can get it for you, you know? Just little things for her that show, hey, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm going to do things for you. I'm going to do things with you. She does the same thing for me. She makes my meals. Like I said earlier, she, like, thinks about what I want to eat, makes my favorite things to eat. She takes care of those little things. And in that, we show each other, hey, not a dick, still love you.
Still love you.
That's all it takes.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
Yeah. That's good.
Good stuff.
Oh,
Good stuff.
speaking of bad advice, that's where we started. One that's really funny to me and stands out to me is not to dunk on the church people, but when I was having relationship problems when I was married, I remember I got some advice. I was like, it's like you just got to serve your wife. Like what if your wife just came home and you had done all the dishes and you had done the laundry and you cleaned the bathroom? It's like, how do you think that would make her feel? And I'm like, yeah, that's
The answer
Normal.
is suspicious.
You're supposed to do that anyways.
But no, that was like my normal. Like I
Yeah.
am very anal about how clean my dishes are. So I've always been the dish person in every relationship. It's like the dishes, except for one. There's one.
Hey,
she was worse than me. But yeah.
Justin, if you're like looking to join a couple, if you want to be the dishes guy,
Oh man.
you're more than welcome at my
I'm-
house, bud.
Nah, I think I'm good over here. But like, it's like, oh, it's like just serve your wife and it'll solve all your problems. It's like, no, like there are real problems. There's mental health issues. Like, nah, man. Yeah, don't let people tell you that all your problems can be solved by just
Pray
doing
harder. Pray harder
Servanthood.
and do the dishes.
pray the BPD away or
Look,
you
that's
know,
a whole
just
separate episode. I'll bring Maddie back on for that episode. But
Oh yeah.
look, Christian therapy, what I call Christian therapy anyway, is, you're not depressed. You're demon possessed. Go pray about it. You'll be fine.
Man.
That's not how that works.
Oof.
yeah.
But that's
All
a
that to
separate
say-
episode.
Yeah. We should touch on that at some point. But all that to say, there's no like one, one size fits all solution for your relationship problems. To be like, oh hey, yeah, if you just do this thing for your partner and it'll solve all your problems and it'll all go away. Yeah, that's called bearing the lead, and it's gonna pop later, and you're gonna have some real serious issues with it. I've seen it all the time. Not to rag on the Christian couples, but like I knew a lot of Christian couples that got married super quick, super young. Props to Jordan and Tiara for not getting married in 6 months after.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Like they're all divorced, every single one of them, except for one. Which honestly, wow, shout out Matt Hoffman if you're listening to this, made it. But like,
Wait, hold on. Nope, stop. Are you saying Matt Hoffman, like the BMX professional? Or a friend of yours named Matt Hoffman?
Or both.
Or
a
is it
friend
both?
of mine named Matt Hoffman.
Oh.
Who happens
No,
to be
friend of
a
mine named Matt
BMX
Hoffman.
professional?
Unfortunately, not. We made
Because
that
if
joke.
you know that Matt Hoffman, I'm gonna need some signatures and a Huffy bike.
Unfortunately, he's not that guy. But yeah, like I mean, I think that's the thing you got to be cautious of is people who are like have ulterior motives, like either like upholding like a belief system or just a cultural ideal to be like, hey, this is what you got to do in your relationship, and it'll solve everything, do whatever. Nah, it ain't that.
I think that's just also a reflection too of just how much of this is cultural. Just like if you go back 100 years, what deems as good dating or marriage advice is very much dictated on men being in power.
Yeah.
Yep.
Versus,
Don't beat your wife too much.
Yeah, exactly. No, like you laugh, but it's like seriously, like all right, guys, and 5 hits, it's a little much. 3, all right, it's okay.
You guys ever heard that term rule of thumb?
Yeah.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
You know, it comes from a law in Louisiana that if you were going to beat your wife, you were supposed to use a stick no wider than your thumb.
Shit.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah.
But anyways, my point in saying all that dark stuff is, it's just to me
Did
like
you just pull out a drumstick?
oh.
Yeah, this is what I had near me.
Oh my God.
It just reminds me of just how much of a lot of it's not just religious; it could be anything, but how much can be cultural. It just and so at the end of the day, it has to be about self-respect, about being human with one another, about treating each other as equals in that relationship. And so, as gooey and as much as we hear that in a marriage, ceremony, it's true. There has to be equality in it, like literal, physical, emotional, mental equality in it. Otherwise, there will be a degradation somewhere in that marriage.
Janelle and I used to tell kids all the time because they're always like, "Oh, we love how you and Janelle are always great together. We love that situation. We want to be just like you guys." Like, look, you can want that all you want. That doesn't mean you have to marry your high school sweetheart. We are an exception to the rule, and we know this. It does not always work. Please break up with her. Break up with him.
It usually doesn't work.
That relationship that you guys are in is toxic, and you do not need to make it
Right.
work.
Yeah.
Like, we're an exception. I get that. But here's how we did it and why we did it. That's not a guidebook for you to follow through. That's so that you know you are nowhere close.
Yeah.
Please stop.
And I hate that like a lot
But
of
what
like
if?
Nope.
Oh, go ahead, Justine.
No, he was just...
Oh, he was responding to you.
No, it was a joke.
I was gonna say I hate that like a lot of dating couples take married advice and try to apply it to their dating life.
Ooh,
It's very different.
Like you're
People-
not
and they don't
married.
tell you that.
No,
Nobody tells you that when you're young.
Nobody tells you that.
Like,
They're
yeah.
just trying to prep you for marriage and like hurry up and get
Yeah.
you married. But it's not the same thing at all. You know.
Hot
And
take. That's all about capitalism.
Oh, hello.
The
You know?
nuclear family is all about supporting the people at the top.
See.
You're not going to have people that far up if you're in a community and they want to be that far up. So
Right.
they break up the community.
Right.
Yep.
Dating is dating and marriage is marriage.
Two separate things.
They are two
you can
separate
date
things.
to get married for sure,
Absolutely.
but you're supposed to date to find things that you don't like and find things that you do like.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it inevitably does not work out, you carry those desires and icks to your next relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Like when people clown on people on Tinder, they're like, well, this is who I am. This is what I want. And they're like, oh, that's too specific, blah, blah, blah. No, they've just been through it enough. They know what they want.
Mhm.
Exactly.
If that's not you, move along. If
Right.
it is you, swipe right.
Exactly.
Move on.
That's all it takes.
Like sometimes in dating, like make it work. It just kind of it's just a little triggering because
That's
like
bad
you
advice.
don't have to always make it work. You
You
know, if it's
don't.
not working, break up.
Exactly.
Go
Don't
find
waste
the
your
next
time.
one. Yeah, you're wasting time. You're a soulmate somewhere.
Not even necessarily break up. There are some things that you're always going to disagree on.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
and they're not like make it or break it relationship issues, but my gosh, sorry, when we have very stark disagreements on just certain things. The biggest one for me is honestly the toilet paper. Like it goes over, it doesn't go under. Like I will die on that hill.
No.
And when she's in my house, she flips it the wrong way, and I get upset about it. It's fine, but it's not fine. Whitney, stop it.
She said, stop it.
But yeah, no, I mean, there's always going to be things that you're going to like not necessarily on the same page, and it's a matter of figuring out like, can you live with that or can you not?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But it's also like a matter like toilet paper.
In real time,
Moral.
I'm watching Jordan and Tiara have that conversation.
There's still time for me to back out of this.
There is.
It's not a
Save
big
yourself.
deal to me, but now that I know he's an over guy, I'm gonna do over. But
Honestly,
I
no,
definitely
no,
was
no.
an
Hey,
under
that's
girl.
Awesome. That's awesome because genuinely for Janelle, it doesn't matter to her.
It
But
doesn't.
to me, it really
It
matters.
matters.
So she became an over person.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll be an over
Exactly.
person.
if somebody does it in my
Unless
house,
I've
like,
done something to upset her, then she'll put it under just like as a little because it doesn't matter. Like it's not a divorce thing for me,
yeah.
but like she knows it bothers me.
It's
So
it,
if
yeah.
I've made her mad, she'll do that to make me mad. But
Mm.
it's little things like that.
That's hilariously.
But that can lead you to
I
some
love it.
really good angry sex, though.
Oh my god,
I'm not going to talk about that on the podcast
no.
because I know Janelle would not want that.
That's a different
I've-
episode.
I've
The
already
After Dark
made that
episode.
mistake
There's no
earlier.
episode. No, it's not an episode.
It could be.
That's gonna be one of those like Patreon episodes. That's what we should do. Like a Patreon episode where like only if you support our podcast financially will you get access to this episode.
Always more XXX.
It's not that far. Maybe
I will
al-
not be participating
Maybe
in that.
always more X.
Always
Just
more
one.
X.
Just one.
I know Harley's out.
Well, anyone got anything else before we close up this thing?
I feel like Harley's been suspiciously quiet.
Yeah, Harley.
Yeah, y'all been talking. I'm not going to interrupt you. I was going to say worst dating advice would be you have to find somebody with the same interests as you, which is just not possible.
No.
Like, of course, you'll have some things in common. Sure, like that's, you know, a great foundation. But like, it's okay to have your own thoughts and opinions and explore that outside of your person. But like, yeah, you
What-
don't have to have all of the same interests.
What I would say is complementary interests are great, but still not required. Like Janelle loves
yeah.
to cook. I love to eat. Boom.
There you go.
Right.
There you
Yeah.
go.
That works great. Yeah.
Does
That's
work
pretty-
great. Works
pretty
great
good.
over here too.
Yeah, that's me and Jordan.
Man.
Man,
Yeah.
oh man.
Me
Yeah,
and
man.
my partner do not share food overlap at all. She's a vegetarian.
Ooh.
And she's not really a meal person as much as like a,
Girl dinner.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And when it's a dinner, it's like a giant ass salad. I'm like, that's good for you, but it's not for me. And that's okay. Like I
okay.
like the idea of cooking for my partner, and I understand that it's going to be few and far between, and that's
What you could do is
Okay.
just make her a big salad and make yourself some grilled chicken to throw on top.
There you go.
Call it a day.
Compromise.
Real.
yeah.
Yep.
That is an option. That is an option. Trying to figure out how to do
Adding
meals.
that to his
It's,
playbook.
it's complicated.
Hunter is more of the cooking one in our relationship, and he is a big like meat guy. So like he loves steaks, he loves like ribs, he loves all of the things.
Same.
I'm not that girly, just
Yes.
not. I could care less.
Neither is Janelle.
But like
Bring me the
he
meat.
can make that for himself. Like he can buy a singular steak. I'll have maybe a bite of it, and he'll just vibe. But I probably won't because. But like less money he has to spend. He can cook it how he wants. Call it a day.
Yeah.
So easy.
Yeah, fair.
I take that.
All right.
Oh, wait, one last thing before we pop off. I know we're probably getting short on time. Don't look at your friend's relationship and be like, "Oh no, my relationship is different."
Oh yeah.
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 Nah,
Comparison.
it's
to-
everyone's different.
No, peop-
Some of us are really weird, and you don't want our relationship because it's not going to
Yes.
work in real life for you. It
Yeah.
only works because we're both weirdos.
Yeah,
That's good.
I
like
agree
that.
entirely.
You put two wildly neurodivergent people together, and you're going to get some weird.
That's some weird shit
Weird.
going on.
No.
Yeah, like
For serious examples of that, like Janelle and I are both autistic. We both are on the spectrum. One of us more than the other. So we're both autistic. You can't look at our relationship and say, "Oh, well, I'm not doing what they're doing, so I'm a failure," or "I'm doing better than they're doing, so whatever." It's nowhere near what you need as an individual person. Like my success in my relationship has nothing to do with your success or failure in your relationship.
It's a different playing field. It's a different understanding of what success is. It's a different spectrum.
It's a different game.
Yeah.
Like we're over here playing fucking shoots and ladders. Like people are talking about chess versus checkers. I'm on the sorry board, man. I'm playing Monopoly. Like
Man
we're
is
not
playing
even the
Handyland
same
right now.
game.
Yeah.
We're not even in the same league, bro. It's different.
I'm playing Flappy Bird over here.
Yeah. We're trying to work together on the 1992 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game for the NES, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
that. Hey, no, that game is too hard. Yeah, that's a relationship ender. Don't do it.
Fair enough.
Well, good advice, everyone. Good advice. Good
All
advice.
around.
That was
good
solid.
bad advice. Solid stuff, everyone. Good,
Yeah.
good work.
I like this talk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
not
that
bad.
was really
Look
good.
at us.
We just flowed.
Look at us.
Agreed.
Well, guys, that is not the end of this episode. Don't go anywhere because when we come back, we got some fan questions that you guys provided for us. We'll be right back.
Don't touch me.
All right, here we go.
Unless you're going to do it tenderly.
All right, let's do it.
Was that B-roll enough for you or what?
You're always B-roll enough for me.
I'm trying to give you that D-roll. What's up?
Ooh, okay.
What an intro! Welcome back, everyone. What a main segment, guys. Great advice, good stories. I like talking about that kind of
Also
stuff.
some bad advice.
Oh, yes, very
Yes.
true. Bad advice, good advice, horrible advice, and everywhere in between. Everywhere in between. Guys, we are not done with this episode. We got some stuff that I'm really excited to talk about, and that's things that come from you, and that is our fan questions. We ventured out. We asked you guys to send us some questions, and you guys did not let us down. But as a very quick reminder, you can reach us several ways. You can ask us on any of our social media websites. That's at Always More Pod. That's on TikTok. That's on Instagram. I think we're on Facebook. And you could also just put in our comments. You can DM us, but you could also reach us on our Always More hotline. That's where you get to leave a voicemail question at 254-218-4042. Chris, where's that again?
254-218-4042. 4-2.
But first, we have a question from Elizabeth from my work. She asked,
Hold on. You're saying you can even ask us questions in person?
that's right, my buddy. That's right.
Oh, man. It's like we are so accessible.
That's right. That's the only way we know how.
Yeah, don't ask me questions in person. I won't write it down.
He will not write it down.
Elizabeth from my work, she asked, who's better, Remy from Ratatouille or Stuart Little?
When it comes to being like higher class, Stuart Little 1,000%. If it's a street fight, Ratatouille. Remy.
Oh, Ratatouille
Stuart
can
Little is
scrap.
getting his ass
He can
kicked.
scrap
Remy,
for real.
Give me
Remy
Remy.
would rock Stuart Little
Yeah. yeah.
shit. Aside from the fact that he's a rat versus a mouse, like he's got a whole ass human he can control. To just
Yeah.
straight up punt.
He's
We
stomping on
factored
that.
it, yeah.
He's stomping on Stuart. It's
Kicking.
gone.
He's kicking
Across
him
the
across
room.
the Thames.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Who's a better character, though?
Remy.
Remy.
Remy, yeah.
Remy.
Started from the bottom, now we here.
Legit.
It's a come up right there.
Easy.
Are we all in accordance, Remy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
1,000%.
I don't even remember what Stuart Little did. Like, okay.
Also, however,
Fought a hawk.
I would like to point out, before the movie, there was never any strictly stated story that made him a mouse.
Stuart.
What do you mean?
In the books, he was never said to be a mouse.
Oh, it was just changed for the movie?
He was described as small and mouse-like, but they never
Oh.
explicitly said he was a mouse.
Oh.
He was just gross.
Oh.
Oh,
Hey, I'm still going to give it to Remy because he can control an adult human.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Remy can climb on top of somebody's head and just like punt Stuart Little.
Have you guys seen Everything Everywhere All at Once? Please tell me you have.
Yes.
Yes.
Not yet, because
What?
Justin!
Justin, you're actually
Hey,
fired. You're done.
Piracy 2024 is all I got to say about why I haven't
I'm
watched that
sending
yet.
you my server information as soon as this is over. Justin, this needs to be priority number one, my friend. Oh my God, this breaks
You're
my
missing
heart.
out
I'm
on, like,
gonna stream it,
amazing
and then my
movie.
streaming services betrayed me.
Oh,
F movies.
well, I'm not going to say it now because it's too funny, and I don't want to spoil it for you.
That's funny because it sounds like you're saying F movies, like, yo, F these movies.
Yeah,
but
but
what you're
It's
really
literally
saying
F
is-
movies.
F
The rich
movies
people.
has everything.
Go get it.
No, it's just a website.
Go do it.
Oh, yeah.
Go see it.
Moving along, our friend Shane asked, what is your favorite dessert? Tiramisu, guys.
Strawberry cheesecake.
Trust that, Chase.
Mm.
Oh, I think I might
Jordan,
have to
did you ever
second
have my
that.
cheesecake?
Yes. It's in
Was
my
it good?
It's
Was
in
it
my
like
I'm
top
candy?
sorry.
five. It's
You've
definitely my
made
top five.
cheesecake and I didn't get any?
We haven't had any yet. What is
Fake.
this treachery?
My friend Angel, shout out to Angel if you're watching this episode. She makes a bomb guava cheesecake. Guava.
Guava.
Angel, you are my
Guava.
friend now, too.
It's fire.
I like
Angel,
cheesecake.
if you want to make me that for my birthday coming up, you should, girl. Just saying.
Cheesecake.
Trust that, Chase, for me.
I will say my favorite dessert is a chai spice Russian Imperial Stout. Is that a
Ooh,
beer? Yes. But is it also dessert? Yes.
Absolutely.
What
my
the
friend.
freak,
Sounds
bro?
like
That
one.
sounds like a win to me.
I would like to say that mine is actually ice cream.
That's
I love
true.
ice cream.
nothing
All
wrong with that.
flavors. Nothing wrong with ice cream ever.
It's too cold.
No, it's never too cold.
You and my son, they don't like ice cream.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
Harley, what you got?
I'm a pie girly.
Ooh.
I love pie.
Ew.
Pie and cheesecake.
What kind of
Yep.
pie?
I have so many
I like.
desserts that I can't
Oh,
like. Pie.
oh, I don't know.
Sweet
Probably
potato.
like pecan.
Oh, yes.
Bye.
There
Chess
we go.
pie. Have you ever had chess
No.
pie?
No.
Okay, look that up and you're going to thank me later.
Okay. Hunter's mom's a really good sopapilla cheesecake.
Oh my God.
That's
Yes.
pretty baller.
Sopapilla cheesecake? Yes.
Mhm.
Please.
I'm down
That's
for
pretty
it.
delish.
Delish.
I'm always down for a Hispanic dessert.
Yes.
Yes.
Like it flows in my blood. I'm not even a dessert guy, but like all of my favorite desserts are Hispanic desserts.
Maddie asked, and to changing on a more serious note, we should put this in the middle, but it's a good question. How can we advocate for change in an oligarchy disguised as a democracy?
Revolution. Let's all riot.
Yeah.
100%. Let's riot.
Yeah.
On a more practical note than Chris's, I love your extremism. I'm here for it. I just don't want to die with you.
You don't have to die. Just riot.
Chris, we're black. We're first. We're the first.
Some
ones
of you
done.
may die.
Say we're not gonna. Never mind.
But I think on a more practical level, I hate to say, get out there and vote. Yeah, but get out there and vote. We got to vote people in who aren't 97 years old.
Yeah.
I'm tired of people who lived through the Great Depression trying to decide the laws for us. Let's decide laws about TikTok. You don't even know the TikTok connect to the Wi-Fi.
Oh,
Come
my
on, bro.
Did you see that
Nah, bro.
the court
We need
case
to-
where they're like, have you ever been part of the Chinese Communist Party? I'm Singaporean. Have you ever been in the Chinese army? I'm Singaporean. Are you a Chinese citizen? I'm Singaporean. Your wife is American? Yes. So are you Chinese American? I'm Singaporean. That meant, I know for a fact him and his wife had that conversation that morning. And she was like, hey, they're going to accuse you of being a Chinese communist. And he was like, no, they've got to be smarter than that.
Nah, it's not even
Because
his
if you
first time
watch
being
his
before
face,
Congress.
as they ask him that question, you see the light just over his eyes, and he just starts laughing because they had that conversation the morning before. And he was like, she was right. She's never going to let me live this down. She was 100% right. I gave them more credit than they deserve.
They deserve zero credit.
Yeah.
But for real though, vote out all of these old people. We're starting to see waves of younger millennials and Gen Z, people being voted in the office. And
I'd even be fine with Gen X. Honestly,
they'll be 40 years younger at this point.
yes.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wild.
And that's wild.
That
That's
is
wild.
so crazy to think about.
We need term limits. Don't get me started on a political rant, but man, if you've been in Congress since 1976,
Yeah. Amen.
You are not in touch with the people you represent. I don't care how much you campaign, how many babies you kiss, how many hands you shake. You do not understand your constituents. You
sit
simply,
down
you
and make
physically
a budget
cannot.
with me. I want people to sit down and make a budget with me. Let me show you how much money I make, which is more than a good deal of my friends, but also still not enough. And understand why people are the way they are. It's like, oh yeah, people just don't
Yo,
want to work.
What is that lady's name? The senator that brings a whiteboard to Congress just to
Oh,
embarrass
yeah.
bankers? Katie something. I love her.
Yeah.
Where she's like, okay, you're the CEO of Chase Bank, so you're pretty good with math, right? And he's like, yeah,
Oh, yeah, that was
I would
great.
think so. She's like, okay, so you pay this mom this budget. She's a single mom. It's just her and her daughter. They live in a one-bedroom apartment. She sleeps in the living room. Her daughter sleeps in the bedroom. They have an old car that she's not paying a note on, but she's got to pay car insurance. She pays $50 for the phone bill. She pays this amount for rent, which is the median amount of rent in the areas where you're hiring. She's working with a deficit of $250 before I even include food or any other clothes shopping or gas or any of that. How do you expect her to live? And he's like, well, I'd have to look at the numbers. No. You don't have to look at the numbers. I gave you the numbers. How do you expect her to live? Well, I'd have to think about that. Are you expecting her to take a loan out? Well, I'd have to think about that. Shut up, you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
It's mind-boggling, which is why I say riot.
I think one of the harder things about it too is because you obviously don't want to partake in a lot of these things, but it's incredibly difficult because so much is owned by such a small percentage of companies. There's images online where it shows they'll take a picture down a grocery aisle, and you think all these different brands or whatever are owned by different companies, but there's a good portion of them that are owned by maybe one or two separate companies.
6 companies own 90% of products in the stores.
It's wild.
Crazy.
It's incredibly
6.
wild. You think about Pepsi, for example. PepsiCo owns KFC, and they own Taco Bell, and they own
I'm at the Taco Bell.
Lay's,
I'm
and
at the Pizza Hut. I'm at the combination Taco Bell and Pizza Hut.
But it's just like you don't think about those things, and so it's very hard. You have to be not self-conscious about it, but you at least have to have a understanding that, yeah, you have to go out there and vote. You have to help participate in change. But there are ways that you can look at things like, obviously, there are things happening in the world that you don't want to advocate for, so you want to not partake in those things. And it's hard sometimes, but like that's kind of what it's going to have to take.
Here's the thing, though. Voting at this point in capitalism is not enough. We need petitions. We need sit-ins, we need riots, we need physical change, like in the 60s. Yeah. You can vote in whoever you want. People voted in Abraham Lincoln. He freed the slaves. But specifically, in a speech, he said, I fully believe that there should be a superior race, and I'm in favor of it being white people.
Yeah.
If I didn't have to free the slaves, I wouldn't. Abraham Lincoln said that.
Yeah.
Putting these people in power that you think are doing better is not going to do better. We
They're
need riots.
less bad.
We need protests.
Yeah,
we need
Justin.
sit-ins. We need petitions. We need to fight. We need to protest these big companies that are supporting genocide. We need to boycott companies like that. There's a lot of things we got to do that we're not doing as a society. And very clearly, I'm showing myself to be at least the 1 in 6 here that's, like, not kidding.
Yeah.
I'm ready to burn the system down.
Mm.
I participate in the system because I have to.
I'm
ready to burn it down.
Here's the thing for me. I would be okay with burning it down if there was a plan for after it, and I think that's where the struggle is. It's like we burn it down and then we replace it with the same thing under a different name. No, I think that's where
there
where
are
my struggle
plenty
is.
of plans for after. We just need to agree on one. That's the thing. Getting a society as large as ours to agree is a problem.
Thank you, Maddie, for that deep, insightful question. It's a good one.
Maddie, come hang out with me. I'll talk to you about it all day long.
All right, guys, and to close up on our final segment for the night, it is things I learned from the internet. I forgot the sound to include it, so I'm sure I'll find it somewhere.
Things
Oh, wait,
I
hold on.
learned
I could
from
find it.
the internet.
Oh, here it is. I did find it. Here we go.
Things I learned from the
Me and Harley are
internet.
just like, yeah.
Wow.
I kind of heard it. I heard some. I heard words.
Wow.
Harley, you're up first.
Yay. Okay, so nutmeg is a hallucinogen. And
Say
the-
what?
How much
the
do I
s-
need?
Apparently it's just, I don't know. It didn't tell me. It just said large doses. But the spice contains myristicin.
Mm.
Seems correct. A natural compound that has mind-altering effects if ingested in large doses,
Wow.
So, like,
which is pretty baller.
1 spoonful or like 10
I imagine it's like-
spoonfuls?
I don't know. It's got to be pretty, like
Harley, we got to know these
maybe
things.
half a thing of like nutmeg powder. It'd be kind of crazy.
How much nutmeg do I need to hallucinate?
I don't know if you guys can see my cats like in this corner here,
I
messing with my
cannot. I'm
blanket.
upset that I cannot see your cat though.
They're messing with the blanket.
Well, hold him up to the camera.
He's on the outside of the
You
blanket.
show me that cat right now.
I threw something at him to make him run. So it's too bad.
Well, it's a good fact, Harley.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Jordan, what you got for us, man?
Tara just gave
2
me this one.
teaspoons.
Yeah, I just found this out the other day, so I'm giving
2
it to Jordan.
teaspoons?
2 teaspoons.
That's not that much.
For what?
It's not. 10 grams, approximately 2 teaspoons of nutmeg is enough to cause symptoms.
You can put that in a smoothie.
Crazy.
You can put that on a spoon. Get a tablespoon. It's literally 2/3 of a tablespoon.
Wow.
What?
Let's go to party, guys.
I got some
We
nutmeg
might
in the
have some
drawer.
experiments
Oh,
to run
Lord.
for tonight.
We about to get lit.
Get lit off this too. Consumption of poppy seeds. Poppy seed products could cause positive codeine.
I feel like we're in the same vein right now.
Yeah. It can make you fail a drug test.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
It takes 48 hours after
I'm well
consumption.
there.
This
to
was found
go
out
away.
very recently, by the way.
Yeah.
And I've had friends that took drug tests that were able to get the results thrown out long enough to be retested by saying, "Oh, I had a poppy seed bagel."
Wow.
Like
Wow.
it was found out recently, and the testers it just didn't get to all the testers. They're like, oh, okay, well, that would cause you to pop positive, so let's test you again in 2 weeks when it clears out of your system. Don't have any more bagels, and they're like, yeah, I won't have any more bagels, and they also don't do any other drugs for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They get the job.
Wow.
I can
One of-
name people that have done this. Yeah.
That's
One
crazy.
of my older coworkers at the library, she's just like the sweet little old lady. She works in cataloging. So cute. She told me one day, I learned that from her because she was like, yeah, when I go to the store and I just really love poppy seed. Like I think she was either muffins or bagels, but I want to say it was bagels. She was like, I really love them, but like, I feel like people are staring at me when I buy them. And I'm like, Martha, like,
Martha.
Oh my gosh, I just thought about Batman v Superman. Why did
Yes.
you say that name?
Why'd you say that name?
Your mom's name is Martha. My mom's name is Martha. Fun fact for all you listeners, my mom's name actually is Martha.
Wow.
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 So there
Mine's
you go.
not.
Martha.
Martha, Martha.
What?
Where's that from?
It's from Batman vs Superman.
No, it's from the
Lex
Brady
Luthor.
Bunch.
Yes.
From the
you're
Nick
talking
at
about
Night
that?
commercials.
Yes.
But it's Marsha, not Martha.
that's right.
Oh.
Marsha.
That was my own version of that.
Jan was really bitter of her sister Marsha, and she was always mad that people were always talking about Marsha. So
Yes. Marsha.
one day she just had enough, and she did something mean, and they were talking to her about it, and she was like, Marsha. Everyone's always talking about Marsha. Because she's the oldest sister and the hottest.
Mm.
I mean, just not, I don't know, theoretically she's the hottest. The other two are children, so it's not a thing.
Mm.
Marsha was the
Anyways.
oldest, and yeah, it doesn't matter. Never mind.
Tim, side eye.
I watched
Back
Nick
to
at Night,
side-eye.
all right? I used to watch the crap out of some Nick at Night. Brady Bunch, Gilligan's Island,
Oh my
Zorro.
gosh.
I just want to see how
All right,
far.
old man.
I want to see how far
Jeez.
down the
Oh,
rabbit
that's
hole
great.
Chris can go if we
George,
don't
You want
interrupt
to
him.
see how far?
Lopez.
No, here we go. This is exactly how far. Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started on this tropic board aboard a tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailor and the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. The entire
I don't know
Gilligan's
what that
Island
is.
theme song. The weather started getting rough.
All right, we are done here.
For the closure for this crew, they were
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
Lost.
here.
The mineral
tape,
would
roll
be
the tape.
lost.
Take his mic. Take his.
The ship hit ground on the shore.
All right, guys.
Did you just mute me? You unmute me right now.
Oh man. Hey, your headphones.
Unmute me right now, you son of a bitch.
It was at that moment.
All right. On that note, we are ending this episode because I think that's a signal that we've gone on for too long.
True. Yeah.
Woo,
Sorry.
delirious.
Let's see how much editing I have to do tomorrow.
A lot.
Oh, help him.
All of it.
Guys, this is a time for our final thoughts. Any final thoughts for this episode? Anything in particular that you want to share or rant about? Or
With Gilligan, the skipper to the millionaire.
Oh,
All right, now that Chris has been muted.
I was gonna. Oh,
Nope. T, go for it.
Go ahead, Taylor.
my final thought is just a question to our audience: if they like having us all together, or do they like it the old way, where we're separate?
and you don't have to talk about Harley. We know Harley has to be included.
Yes,
okay,
Harley
guys?
will
we
always be
know, we
included.
know, we know.
I'm actually leaving. Sorry, guys. Sorry for everyone.
And that marks the end of season 4.
And with that, folks.
Do you remember?
Oh, what's the rest of it? What is the rest of that?
That closes the 2020 whatever
Oh, that's right.
year season, yeah.
The 2023 season.
Do you guys remember
Crazy.
when Harley was part of the podcast? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
You know, I get that quote wrong a lot. I always say State Farm. And Hunter's like,
It's
I
not
like it better
Star-
that way.
No.
I like that.
Here's the thing.
Jake from State Farm remembers.
They remember everything you ever did. They're like, oh, you did something wrong? We're going to drop you now.
true. True,
Yeah.
true.
It's like, oh, you had an
I
accident
always
back
say
in
the-
2004?
Hot tub.
It's like, no, I was in an accident. I was like 12. Doesn't matter.
High risk.
I was victim.
Any serious thoughts to close out the show, guys?
I would just like to say that love is love.
Hey.
Not all of our advice was gender specific.
Yeah.
Actually, I would
Sure.
say none of it was gender specific. Love is love.
Amen.
Yeah, no, I agree with that sentiment. Gender is a construct. Anyway, who cares?
Yeah. Seriously.
But like, it's not like my advice wasn't like, oh, only for heterosexual couples. Like, yeah, no, yeah. Do what you want.
Just for
with
the
whatever-
heteros.
with whatever bits you got.
Honestly,
I don't know.
if
I
you're
don't
hetero,
care.
listen to the bad advice. Try it. See if it works for you.
Good luck, Charlie.
I really enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed having us all together. It is a little bit chaotic, but
Very chaotic. I feel like the episode went really long.
Chaos is good.
Yeah, we'll see how this is gonna. That's gonna be.
but that's what Tim's editing skills are for.
I don't know if you're aware of this, Justin. Tim doesn't edit for time.
Yeah, I do. What are you talking about?
He just cuts things that aren't what we're talking about and things that I say.
Well, that's usually part of it.
That's crazy.
Kidding. Harley, you got anything else you want to say?
It was a really fun episode. It was really good. I liked being able to have so many varying points of views. That's kind of like our whole point of this podcast is to have input on various things from various walks of life.
Yeah.
I
And
agree.
that is pretty baller. Nobody
Baller.
says that anymore, but I'm bringing it back.
Wow.
I dig.
It's like,
Some of us old
slay.
people still say it. Us older millennials.
Our old heads.
Yeah.
That's what we call them.
Medium millennials? I don't know where I am. I'm not a young
Millennials.
millennial.
Yeah.
You're an elder millennial.
Medium.
No, he's not. He's,
Boomer.
Nah,
you're
I'm-
mid. You're mid.
I'm a mid. I turned
Millennial.
35 this year.
Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
You
We're
are a
younger millennials.
Millennial.
Don't
Tears.
like that. Nope.
Tears.
Millennial.
Speaking
I
of
think it's gonna stick.
any final thoughts from our Gen Zers over here?
No,
Today
I'm
was
just
great.
happy to get married in 3 months. That's about it.
Still waiting on my invite.
Slay.
The invites haven't mailed in.
That's why I
Yeah.
said I'm still waiting.
Oh, okay. Well, keep on waiting. It's
Keep
coming.
on waiting.
Yeah. I
Keep on
I
the
waiting.
longer
invites
I
I can
wait,
take
the
off
less
work.
expensive your gift gets.
Oh my God.
Anybody got a piece of paper?
Matter of fact, this is your invite right now.
Write it right now.
Yes. Matter of fact,
Anybody
let
got-
me just text
Send
you
him
the
a text
information.
message.
Facts. Chris is gonna get his in a digital version.
Hey, bro, you coming? Just
Yeah.
Send me the ones you guys
Facts.
ordered.
Scan
just
this
like a
cute
scan.
code.
I know you guys have
screenshot.
napkins in here.
Let me write on this lollipop wrapper right here.
For real, yeah.
I'll say my final thing here. I think love is cool, and I think you should love who you want to love, and don't let anyone say otherwise. I think we should leave it at that.
Amen.
Yeah. All
I
right.
mean, unless it's toxic, and then you need to get out of that
yeah,
shit.
then get
Get
out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Don't do
Get
that.
Abort mission.
If you
I
if you
love how
happen to be
we
a
were
black
all like,
man and
oh,
a
yeah,
white
that's
woman is
good.
trying to steal your body, get out.
Stop it.
Get out.
That's funny.
Or if you're dating an abusive
Ooh.
Yeah, get out of that shit.
person who may or may not have
Yeah.
been a police officer and doesn't take care of your pets. I'm not talking about anybody specific at all.
Wow.
Put a finger down.
It sounded
Me.
We love you, Justin.
On that note, thank you all again for listening to our podcast. And be sure to subscribe, like, share, and leave a 5-star rating on your favorite podcast platform. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook at Always More Pod. Chris, where can we find you?
I'm on Instagram as Captain_CT Ford and TikTok as Christopher.Lionheart.
Harley, what about you?
I'm on Instagram at whatharley, WUT Harley, and the clock app at harleybean.co.
T.
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Tierra with 1R.NIQELLE.
Jordan.
You can find me everywhere at Jordan CRTV.
And Justin.
You can find me just about everywhere at Justin is Theory. Including Xbox. Come play Halo.
Hey.
That's cool.
Just throwing that out there.
Wow.
Why do you own an Xbox? Oh no, I know why. Never mind. He has both.
And then you can find me on everything as well at Timothy Luty. It's L-A-U-C-H-Y. Guys, thank you all again for listening and for being a part of the conversation. And remember, there is always more than this. Bye, everyone.
We love you all.
Bye.
Bye.
You have to be professional. This is the Always More podcast. 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 No.